The following is an RJL 518 Sports Network presentation. The 1994 restart from Payoff Pitch went very well. It played off the remaining games of that 1994 season and went all the way through to the World Series, culminating in a championship for the 1994 Chicago White Sox. It was a pleasure to do it. Now we go back about 9 years. We go back now to the year 1985 as voted from my subscribers of the season they wanted to see played out next. Today is April 8th, 1985. It is opening day. We have a doubleheader on schedule. We have the Cleveland Indians and the Detroit Tigers and the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Kansas City Royals. Baseball season once again begins. Once again starts. It starts here on opening day, and hopefully, if everything goes well and I continue going through this project, it will once again end with someone winning the World Series in about several months from now. Good evening, everybody. This is Robert from RJL 518 welcoming you to opening day. This is Payoff Pitch 1985. A new season begins. A new season's ready to go. Tribe Fan 879 is first to the doors here for this doubleheader. We are live at Tiger Stadium. The fans are crazy. It is nuts. It is opening day 1985 for this game between the Cleveland Indians and the Detroit Tigers. Starting a brand new season, people. I promised you 2.5 weeks ago we'd start it. We're going to do it here. It is opening day 1985. And we got 2 good games scheduled as we begin another exciting season of Payoff Pitch Baseball. This is a game I can use. I can broadcast better than I can with Inside Pitch. I love both games equally, although Payoff Pitch does run a little bit quicker in terms of dice rolling. So everybody buckle up, sit down. We got opening day doubleheader. First up is game 1, the Cleveland Indians against the Detroit Tigers. It is opening day, so therefore no team has a record. They start 0-0 here at Tiger Stadium. But the one thing that my subscribers wanted me to do, that before we actually start the game, they wanted me to go ahead and give out the rings. Well, a little bit difficult to do that because I don't have any rings to give out. But as the announcer has asked for the Detroit Tigers to go ahead and take a bow here real quick. So coming out on the field is this lineup of Detroit Tigers. And we hereby give them their rings. So if you wanted to see the Detroit Tigers from 1984 get their championship rings in 85, I hereby give out their rings from that season. The Chicago White Sox will get their own rings from the 1994 season. And when I show the White Sox, when I show the Chicago White Sox in a future game here in 85, I will give them their rings from 1984, even though those players, of course, were not on that team. So there you go. The 1984 Detroit Tigers received their rings for winning the 1984 World Series. I just thought that'd be kind of cute. Are we ready for some baseball? I certainly hope we are. This is going to be another big project by me. This project, of course, is going to be longer because we're actually doing an entire season. Although, remember how we're doing it? We're only doing half the season games. So we do every other day of the baseball season. I've already got a schedule made out for the first block of season games. And we'll do every other day. You will see the results of the previous games on a 10-minute ticker. I will not do 2 10-minute tickers from the previous day and the day before. That would make these way too long. So you will see the previous day's scores before we start the next game day. But the 10-minute ticker for that day will be done during, of course, the 7th inning stretch. Yep, Ozzie Guillen did win a championship in the 94 for the 94 White Sox, and he was a rookie in 85. So we will get to see it. Is everybody ready? I'm set to go. It's going to be Bert Blyleven going up against Jack Morris in this game. And I'm going to kind of quick things up a little bit. I'm not going to give out those I'm not going to give out the, the lineups and all that stuff like I did We're going to introduce the players as they come to the plate. So starting pitcher for the 1985 Detroit Tigers will be Jack Morris. He was 16 wins, 11 losses, a 3.33 ERA that season. Anthony Barris joins me here at Tiger Stadium for Game 1 of this doubleheader. Let's get things going. We're ready to go for the first pitch of this new season. Leading off for the 1985 Cleveland Indians will be center fielder Brett Butler. Everything is ready to go. Everyone is set. Fans on their feet. Here is the first pitch of the 85 season. And that is a in-play 95. That's a fly ball to right. And coming over to make that catch is going to be Kirk Gibson. And that's one out. Next batter will be the shortstop, Julio Franco. Julio Franco, of course, was on that. Julio Franco also was on the Chicago White Sox in 1994. So I'm going to give him his ring. Now, of course, that's 9 years from now. But Julio Franco was on that White Sox team in 94. So he gets a championship ring. Morris will pitch. That's a defense 93, our first defense check. And that is an error check to Jack Morris. His error rating is a 1. His error rating is a 1. That's a 93 at Tiger Stadium. And that's going to be worst error rating you could have at that stadium. But a 93 is going to make a nice play. Jack Morris does it. Throws to first for out number 2. The fans give him a nice ovation on a ground ball to Morris. Next batter will be left fielder Mel Hall. He batted .339 against right-handers. No home runs. Didn't have that many at-bats. As you can see, some of these players are on these teams now will not be on them later due to roster changes. Morris with the pitch. That is an in-play 08, and Mel Hall against the righty. That is going to be a base hit. And that's actually going to be a double for Mel Hall. He smacks a double into the right center field corner. He will go to second base. And I've been playing so much inside pitch lately. I got to get back to playing, getting used to the payoff pitch system. Base hit for Mel Hall, double. He'll go to first. And the next batter will be the designated hitter, Joe Carter. A young Joe Carter for Cleveland. He was 25 years old. Carter batted .268, 10 homers against rights. Still 2 outs, runner on second. Morris with the pitch. That is a tough 34. And Carter's going to get a base hit. It's a single. Mel Hall with a run rating of 5. It's not an automatic score, so we pick a card. Ball blooped into right field. Runner on second comes around third. He will score. And the Indians jump out in front 1-0 here in the top of the first. An RBI single by Joe Carter. And there's the Tribe getting the first run of this season. Carter will hold at first base, still 2 outs. Next batter is first baseman Pat Tabler. Carter on first. His run rating is a 7. Not going to steal with 2 outs. Can do different things here. Pat Tabler with the pitch. And that is going to be a 7. That's a tough 84. And that's a fly ball straight away center field. Coming under it is going to be Chet Lemon. And he makes the catch for the final out. No runs and 2 hits. 1 run and 2 hits for the Indians. Cleveland jumps out early 1-0 in this game. These are, of course, the opening day lineups that were used that day. Bottom of the first inning, starting pitcher for the Cleveland Indians will be Bert Blyleven, Hall of Famer, 9 wins, just like Jack Morris, 9 wins, 11 losses. He had a 3.26 ERA back in that time. Blyleven was only with the Indians from April 8th to July 29th, but we shall see how things go. So I can't always give you updates on the transactions. You'll just have to see the players play. Bottom of the first inning, leading off for the Detroit Tigers will be second baseman Lou Whitaker. Lou Whitaker batted .295, 19 homers against rights that year. That is a 7. That's an in-play 39 base hit. Lou Whitaker gets a nice single as he hits that one into right field. And Whitaker gets on base. That brings up the shortstop, Alan Trammell. Hall of Famer? Meh, I don't know. Lou Whitaker's steal rating is a 2, 6, 7 on the dice. Nothing happening there, so it's going to be a normal play. Alan Blyleven looking in, and now the pitch to Trammell. And that is a tough 94, and that's a fly ball to left field. And coming under it will be Hall, makes the catch, out number 1. Whitaker stays at first base. And now the batter is right fielder Kirk Gibson. He will be hitting a big home run in a few years with the Dodgers. But he was still with Detroit at this time. He bats .314, 22 home runs against rights. Blyleven's pitch, that is a 9. That's a tough 19. And swing and a miss, struck him out. Gibson gets K'd by Blyleven. First strikeout for Blyleven in the game. And that will be the catcher, Lance Parrish. He batted .261, 19 homers against rights. Both pitchers are right-handers. Whitaker's still on at first. So far, nothing going for the Tigers. But let's see if Parrish can do something here. Blyleven's pitch. That is an in-play 51, and that's a ground ball hit to first base. Pat Tabler's going to get to that one. He'll tag the base himself, and that retires the side. Base runner stranded for the Tigers. They did get a hit, though. And at the end of 1, the Indians lead it 1-0. Top of the second coming up. Leading off for Cleveland will be third baseman Brooke Jacoby. He batted .273, 11 homers against rights. Morris with the pitch, and that is a wheelhouse 40. Jacoby's going to smack a double all the way, smacks one into the right field corner. A leadoff double for Jacoby, and Cleveland getting out to a quick start. Leadoff double for Jacoby. He will head to second base and hold there. And that ball was hit to right. And Gibson will throw that ball in. The next batter will be right fielder George Vukovic. Batted .255, 8 homers against rights. Jacoby got a good smack of that, but just couldn't bring it in. Bears Den 007 joins me here at Tiger Stadium for opening day of 1985. Runner at second, nothing happening. Morris is going to go ahead and pitch. That is a tough 79, and that's a fly ball straight away center field. And coming under that is going to be Lemon, and he'll make the play for out number 1. I've been doing so much inside pitch, I'm almost beginning to, I have to roll the dice again because I've been playing so much inside pitch lately. Here's the catcher for Cleveland, Chris Bando. One man on second base. Morris looking in. And that is an in-play 93. That's a fly out to left field. Coming under it is going to be Herndon, and he makes the play, out number 2. And now second baseman for the Indians, here's Tony Bernazard. Morris checks and deals with a runner on second. That is an in-play 71, and it's a ground ball hit to second base. Whitaker's got it easily, tosses it over to first, and the inning is over. No runs for Cleveland. They do get a hit. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Coming up for the Detroit Tigers will be the designated hitter. That is Johnny Grubb. He's the DH in this game. Good to see everybody for some opening day action here at Tiger Stadium. Blyleven with the pitch. And that is a ballpark check, 16. That is a definite wheelhouse for Grubb. But a wheelhouse 98 is a fly ball to right field. Near the track is Vukovic, but he's going to make the catch. 1 out. Tiger Stadium, definite hitter's park. 1-88 for lefties, 1-67 for righties. So we combine that. That is 155. Definitely Tiger Stadium, hitter's park in 85. Here is the first baseman, Daryl Evans. He batted .260 with 31 home runs against rights. He was a good hitter. A lot of offense at 85. Did some research on it. In play, 92. That's a fly ball to right field. Vukovic will get to that one. And he makes the play for the second out. And now we'll see left fielder Larry Herndon. He batted .233, 5 homers against rights. Blyleven's pitch, that is also an in play. That's a 30, and that's a base hit. Herndon goes ahead and hits that one into right field, and Herndon will be safe at first, a 2-out single. Nice hit by Larry Herndon over Blyleven. And that will bring up one of my favorite players, actually, from that time, center fielder Chet Lemon. I always thought Chet Lemon was an underrated player from the day. Chet Lemon was a good player. I really thought he was. I thought Lemon was a fine player. Playing for the White Sox and Detroit, among other teams. 2 outs. Herndon on at first. Not a threat to steal. Blyleven's pitch. And that is an in-play again. That's an in-play 22. Lemon's going to get himself a single. Larry Herndon, with a run rating of a 6, automatically makes third base. And we have runners at the corners with 2 outs now. Now the fans at Tiger Stadium get very interested in. And the next batter is the third baseman, Chris Potaro. He got the call for opening day in this game for Detroit. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. Infield is normal. Blyleven's pitch. That is an in-play again. That's an 0-3. Base hit for Chris Potaro. And that's not just a base hit. That is going to be a clean double. Herndon will come in to score. Chet Lemon's run rating of 6 from first. He will score. Potaro goes to second, and the Tigers take a 2-1 lead on a big 2 RBI double by Potaro. Chris Potaro comes away with a big stadium cheers. Yay! My favorite baseball bunch, Chet Lemon throwing out to the kids, the Johnny Bench. You know it. Chris Potaro only had a few at-bats in 1985, but he makes a good one there off of Blyleven. Future Hall of Famer, he is at second base. Coming up for the second time in this game will be Lou Whitaker. Still 2 outs. 3 straight base hits, all being done on 2 outs. Blyleven with the pitch, and that is a tough 31. No wild pitch rating on Blyleven, so we go straight to 31. And Lou Whitaker, that is going to be a pop out to second base. He pops that one out, and the inning finally comes to an end. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Tigers. At the end of 2, Detroit has taken a 2-1 lead. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. And it will be Brett Butler leading off for the Indians. Butler flew out his last time up. Morris with the pitch. That's a 9. That's a patient 73. And that's a fly ball to left field. And that's going to be Herndon making the play. Out number 1. Here's Julio Franco from the 1994 World Champion Chicago White Sox. But, of course, in 1985, he doesn't know this yet. So what happened is I give Julio Franco a championship ring, and he's saying, what's this for? And he said, you'll find out in 9 years. Here's the pitch. Morris, that is a tough 86, and that's a ground out to short. Easily played by Trammell. He'll throw to first for out number 2. And now we'll see Mel Hall. Mel Hall hit a double his last time up, so we'll see if Morris has learned anything from that double. And that is an in-play 90, and that's a fly ball to right field. Kirk Gibson's going to get to that one. And a 1-2-3 inning for Jack Morris. First 1, 2, 3 he has, and we go to the bottom of the third. Still 2-1 Detroit. Leading off for the Cats will be Alan Trammell. He also won't know he'll play until he's 48. Won't know until he's 48 years old. Yeah, right. Trammell leads off here against Blyleven. And that is going to be a patient. That's right on the line. I'm going to have to re-roll it. Fouled away, strike one. That's a tough 60, and that's a ground ball hit to third. Jacoby's going to make that play. Throws to first, out number one. Here is Mr. Kirk Gibson. He struck out his last time up. Blyleven's pitch. That's an in-play 79. Fly ball straight away center. Butler's going to get to this one. That's the second out. And now Lance Parrish. Blyleven checks and deals. And that is a tough 67. And that's a fly ball to right field. Vukovic is going to get to that one. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for the Tigers. So for the first time in this ball game, both Blyleven and Morris set their opponents down in order. It is still 2-1 in favor of Detroit. We go to the top of the fourth inning. Reminder, our game number 2 coming up tonight. It will be the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Kansas City Royals. Starting off with them. As the Royals, of course, won the World Series in '85, so we will start with them from the top and move our way down in the standings so that every team at least gets a look at. That's right, Salvador America, opening day already. He joins me here at Tiger Stadium. And yep, can you believe 2.5 weeks have already passed and we are already at opening day? Let me get these cards more in effect so you can actually see them a little better. There you go, because I want you to see the cards. Jack Morris will be pitching to Joe Carter. He'll lead off here, the top of the fourth. He got a single his last time up. Morris with the pitch. That is an in-play 24, and Joe Carter is going to lace a single into left center field. That's a base hit. Carter holds it first, his second hit of the game. Carter at only 25 years old here in '85. Steal rating is a 5 and 8 on the dice. Nothing happening. And that will bring up Pat Tabler. Tabler coming in there. And now Morris will pitch. And that is a 7. That's a tough 37. And that is going to be a popped up in the infield. Let's see if I need to make that play. I know my mom will get that. It is popped up infield. The second base is calling for it. That is Whitaker. He makes the catch, out number 1. He pops out to short. 1 down. And now here comes Brooke Jacoby. Jacoby did hit a double his last time up. Nothing happening on the dice. Joe Carter still at first base. I did make a couple of changes to some rules for stealing for myself. I'm probably not going to use the automatic, might not use the jumping. And anytime a base runner, instead of not using that, anytime a base runner gets on with a 12, all right, if a 12 is up there, the pitcher does get a pickoff chance. We'll try to get more pickoffs. Don't worry, phone's answered. 1 out. Morris with the pitch. That is an in-play 95. Fly ball to left field. And Herndon's going to get to that one. He puts it in his glove for out number 2. I forgot how much fun payoff pitch was. Been playing so much inside pitch. Here is George Vukovic. Vukovic, he flied out his last time up. Carter's still on at first, but stuck there. Morris is getting the batters out. Here's the pitch. And that is a tough 19. And that is a cold strike 3. Side retired. Vukovic goes down. No runs and a hit, but that is all the Indians will get. Still 2-1, favor of the Tigers. Bottom of inning number 4. And here is Johnny Grubb leading off for Detroit. Pitch from Blyleven. That is a tough 98. That's a fly ball to right field. And Vukovic is going to get to that one. And that is out number 1. Next up will be Daryl Evans. Evans flew out his last time up. Here's the pitch. That is a tough 80, and that's a ground ball hit to second base. And Bernazard's going to make that play, throws it over to first for the second out. And now Larry Herndon. Herndon hit a base hit his last time up. He's 1 for 1. Pitch coming from Blyleven. That's a tough 52. And line drive it right to short. Side retired. Line out right to short. A 1-2-3 inning for Blyleven. And nothing doing there, but the Tigers still hold a 2-1 lead at the end of 4. Hope you guys are enjoying the first game of this opening day telecast for the 1985 season. Top of the 5th inning coming up. Here is Chris Bando batting for the Tribe. And Michael Peterson joins us here at Tiger Stadium, says he has to watch. He ordered and got his PDF of the game. Morris will pitch to Bando. And that is a patient 0-7, and he walked him. First walk given up by Morris. And Bando will trot down to first. Steal rating of 2, F5 on the dice. Nothing happening. And now a chance for Tony Bernazard. Morris looking in. And the pitch coming. Morris, that is that in-play 0-2. And Bernazard smacks a double. That is a big double right there. It's going to be a deep drive to center field. It one hops the wall. Bando rounding third. He will come in and score. An RBI double for Bernazard. We are tied at 2. The Indians have tied this game up. And still nobody out. And Bernazard on its second. They're going to go talk to Jack Morris saying, hey, look, I know we just won the World Series last year, but you might want to pitch a little better today. It is opening day. We like to send the fans home with a win. Here is Brett Butler now coming up for Cleveland, as he will get the call. Butler is 0 for 2. Bernazard at second. Morris pitches. That is a tough 76, and that is a ground ball to short. Up with it is going to be Trammell. He throws to first. That's out number 1. Bernazard with a run rating of 6 will not advance to third, so he stays. 1 out. And now here is Julio Franco, a member of that 1994 White Sox championship team from the restart. Morris will pitch. And that is a tough 85. That's another ground ball to short and easily picked up by Trammell. Looks Bernazard back, throws to first, out number 2. Bernazard with a run rating of 6 will not go. Two outs. And the batter now is Mel Hall. Indians already have a run in here in the 5th. Hall, the batter, 2 outs, and he is 1 for 2. Morris with the pitch. That is a patient 0-9, and he walks Hall. Second walk issued by Morris. And he usually averages about 4 walks per 9 innings. And now a chance for the designated hitter. Here is Joe Carter. So runners at first and second for Morris. 2 outs, top of the 5th. That goes to your 77, 84 seasons. I'm glad you're getting all the seasons. I, of course, can say I have them all. All 27 MLB seasons. That's why we could have chosen any season we could have played. I'm very happy to have his entire collection and looking forward to more. Morris will pitch to Carter. Runners at first and second. Big pitch. Tough. 48. And that's a line drive hit right to second. Side retired. Wow, what a shot hit to Whitaker. But Whitaker gloves it and puts it away. The Indians, though, do get one run on one hit and a couple of walks. Bottom of the fifth coming in halfway. We are tied at 2. Fell in love with this game and had to get all his seasons. Joe Bryan wants to do all of them. He wants to get all the major league seasons done. If he averages, I told him, I said, well, if you do about 8 to 10 seasons a year, it'll take you about 15 years to do all 100, and at that time it'll be 135. It'll be 135 seasons because you also got to include the season that was just done. So right now you include the 2020 season going back to 1901, which in my opinion is when Major League Baseball really started. I know you go back to 1876 and that kind of thing. I don't. Baseball started in 01 with the first 8-team American League and first 8-team National League. Forever Maine now joins us here at Tiger Stadium. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning of opening day. Indians and Tigers tied at 2. So he wants to do all the seasons. I mean, if he does, I'll have them all. If I'm still alive at that time. Chet Lemon leads off for Detroit against Blyleven here at bottom of the fifth, and we do a card flip. I am no longer using 3 decks at once. I'm just going to use 1 deck, but I will flip it over halfway through the game. And then if we go to extra innings, I will do a quick reshuffle. Geez, I shouldn't have mentioned extra innings, should I? Oh, boy. Here's Lemon. Lemon got a single his last time up. Blyleven's pitch, that's a patient 22, and he walks Lemon. Lemon trots down to first. Blyleven averaged 2.5 walks per 9, and that's his first walk he's given up in this game. Next batter will be Chris Potaro. He got an RBI double. Has brought in 2 RBIs. Potaro didn't stay with Detroit long in this 85 season, but he did do pretty good there. That is a 1 on Lemon's card, which means there's no steal attempt for him. And Potaro will not bunt, so nobody out. Here's the pitch from Blyleven. That's a patient 50 and base hit. Chris Potaro is going to get his second hit of the game. That is a single, and it's a line drive into left field. Runner on first advances 2 bases. Lemon will make it to third. Runners at the corners, nobody out for the Tigers. Second hit for Chris Potaro. And Lemon will get to third easily. Potaro batted .264 with no homers against rights, though, but he's doing pretty good today. And now Blyleven in a bit of a jam. Top of the batting order now for the Tigers. They're in business. Here is Lou Whitaker. And nobody out. Infield. It's in the 5th inning. The Indians are going to play the infield back and give up the run if possible. Although Lou Whitaker doesn't ground out in many double plays. You know what? They're going to play the infield in. So I have the infield in chart ready. Base running in this game is so much easier. Blyleven with the pitch. And that is a 5. That is a tough 0-4. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Whitaker gets struck out. And he did not strike out much. It's only a 1-12 against right-handed pitching on a strikeout. Whitaker goes down, 1 out. The batter now is Alan Trammell. And they're going to keep the infield in to make sure. Trammell also does not ground out in many double plays. Double play rating is a 5. Blyleven's a 6. So they're going to try to keep the infield in, see what happens. 1 out. Dave Little joins me here now at Tiger Stadium. I got a good crowd for opening day so far. And this is only the first game. Blyleven's pitch. That's a patient 16, and he walks Trammell. And the bases are juiced. Second walk given up by Blyleven. And the batter now is Kirk Gibson. And the fans here at Tiger Stadium are on their feet. Bases loaded. The infield is still going to be, the infield is going to play, they're still going to play in. They're still going to play in, make sure Lemon can't score. Bert Blyleven, very big chance. His fatigue inning is a 7, so he's still strong. So is Morris. Is this a full season project? Yes, it is. We start here opening day. We're doing every other day of the baseball season with quick results charts taking care of the background. I'll tell you more about the quick results charts in a moment. Bases loaded. Gibson at the plate. Blyleven with the pitch. Infield in. And that is a 90. That is a tough 99, and that is a fly ball to right field. That ball is handled by Vukovic, and it's a tough fly ball, which means Lemon cannot score. 2 outs. On tough pitches, that is, they do not advance. Fly ball to right, and Lemon cannot move. It was too shallow, and now it'll be up to Lance Parrish. Bases still loaded. Now 2 outs. Infield back to normal for Cleveland. Blyleven, can he get out of the jam? Parrish, he is 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that is a tough 16. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Blyleven gets out of it. Blyleven picks up his 3rd strikeout of the game, strikes out the side, and Detroit comes up with a goose egg. No runs. There were 1 hit and a couple of walks. Still tied at 2 at the end of 5. Is that going to come back to bite the Tigers in the butt? We will find out. Stadium groans. Ugh. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Yeah, I know. You flip over a fact in those situations, you apply a score sack. The rule of if it's a tough, I'm going to go by the rules as written on most of this. If it's a tough, the runners all hold. A tough pitch means the pitcher actually made a good pitch. All right, and you got to give them a little credit for that. I understand what you're talking about, Forever Maine, and you're not wrong. You can play it any way you wish. Okay, I once tried doing it that way, and I felt it was wrong. I didn't feel right. So on that rule, I basically said I just left it alone. And now if it's a tough pitch and it's a fly ball, all runners hold. Top of the 6th inning, here is Pat Tabler leading for Cleveland. Although I do think that he's got coach's choice for patient and a wheelhouse is an automatic sacrifice fly. I think in play should also be a coach's choice, but maybe subtracting a number away from the runner. I don't know. He is updating his rules. Yeah, I know he's doing some work on the rules. So there might be some rules updates. So stay tuned, Forever Maine. Morris will pitch to Tabler. And that is a patient 42, and that's a base hit. Tabler gets a single. And that's his first hit of the game. Next batter for Cleveland will be Brooke Jacoby. Remember, the Cleveland Indians this year, not very good. They actually have an F grade in the quick results. Cleveland finished the year with a record of 60 wins and 102 losses. Detroit is a B grade. They were 84 and 77. So there are a lot of B graded teams in that quick results chart. We're going to have a mess come playoff time. Tabler on it first. That's a 9 on the dice. Nothing happening. Morris will pitch to Jacoby. Morris's pitch. That is an in-play 26. Jacoby's got himself a single. That's a base hit. It's a sharp liner into center field. Tabler will only move one base as he holds at second. And now the Indians are in business. And here is George Vukovich. Tabler on at second base. These cards are so slippery. But then again, that's the first time I've really touched these 85 cards. Dave Little says he used to watch Tabler's son play some college basketball. What college was that at, Dave? I don't know. What college was that? Because I love college basketball. First and second, Morris the batter, Morris the pitcher, Vukovich the batter. We're in the top of the 6th inning, tied at 2. Can the Indians break through on this pitch? Morris, that's a 6. That's a tough 37. And base hit, George Vukovich. It's a single. That is a sharp liner into center field, and the runner on second will only advance one base, as was picked up quickly by Lemon and threw it in so fast Pat Tabler could not run around third, and the bases are loaded with no one out. And now Jack Morris is in a bit of a jam. And the next batter for Cleveland is Chris Bando, Wright State University. Cool. Okay. Thank you there, Dave. Bases loaded. Nobody out, top of the 6th. Opening day is always special because you always love to win on opening day. It means that at least for one day of the season, you're in first place or tied. You're tied or you're in first place. Bando the batter. Bases loaded. Bando does ground into some double plays. No, the Tigers got to call the infield in. You can't let any runs score. The infield will be in by the Tigers. Infield in chart ready. Morris looking in. Here is the pitch. And that is a tough 37. And that is a ground ball to first base. That's a 4 on the play. That's a 4 on the play. And a great play by Daryl Evans. Throws home to get Tabler. And that is 1 out. Tabler is out at home as the infield in works there. That's a ground out to first. Runners advance, though. And now the batter is Tony Bernazard. He hit a double his last time up. And actually, I should check to see if that was a double play. Bases loaded, roll 1d10. If higher than batter's run rating, batter out at first. I didn't do that. Let's find out. His run rating is a 4. That's a 5. It is higher. I'm sorry. Bando's is out at first. That's 2 outs. Whoops, my bad. I forgot to check that. Bases loaded, and Bando's thrown out at first. 2 outs on the double play. My bad. I forgot about that. Haven't played payoff pitch in the 2.5 weeks. But Tony Bernazard gets a chance, but now 2 outs. Runners in second and third. Now can Detroit get out of this? That's right. No double play on a 4. That's correct. On an infield in. Okay. The batter out, runner on first advances. Other runners hold. However, if bases are loaded and the 2d6 result is 2-5, runner on third out at home, batter out at first, double play. Other runners advance 1 base. So that's why I forgot to check the double play. As I said, I haven't played the game in a couple of weeks. I got to get used to it again. I've been playing inside pitch the last couple of weeks. George, runners at second and third. Bernazard the batter, top of the 6th, now 2 outs. Can the Tigers get out of this inning now? They go back to normal infield. Morris with the pitch. Tough. 34. Nope, that's going to be a single for Tony Bernazard. Base hit. That is a base hit for Bernazard. Jacoby will score from third. Vukovic, run rating of 6. He scores from second. 4-2 Cleveland. They finally break the tie. CP, Cards and Dice. Tony now joins me from Cards and Dice TV. Please don't forget to check out his channel. He is the master of disaster. He knows his payoff pitch, his inside pitch, his APA, his deep drive, his fall classic baseball, his back to basics. He is the man. Big 2 RBI single by Tony Bernazard. The Indians take a 4-2 lead in the top of the 6th. And the batter is Brett Butler. Oh, yeah, by the way, stadium groans. Ugh. Still 2 outs. Here's Butler. Butler is 0 for 3. Bernazard not doing anything. Here's the pitch from Morris. That is a tough 46. And that is going to be a pop out to second base. It's popped up, and Whitaker's going to make that catch. And the inning is over. 2 runs for the Indians on 4 hits. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and it is 4-2 Cleveland. As we begin this 1985 season of Payoff Pitch. Bert Blyleven will take the mound, and Johnny Grubb will take a bat. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-2 Cleveland. Yes, Salvador America. Tony at Cards and Dice is a tutorial god. And you should spell that with a big G. Well, whatever. Blyleven will pitch to Grubb, bottom of the 6th inning. Blyleven's pitch, that is a tough 69, and that is a fly ball center field. Butler's going to get to that one, and that is out number 1. Grubb is 0 for 3 so far. Next batter will be Daryl Evans. Evans 0 for 2. Blyleven with the pitch. That's a tough 99. That's a fly ball to right field. Vukovic will get to that one. And that is the second out. And now we'll see Larry Herndon. Herndon is 1 for 2. He singled in the 2nd inning. Will there be a break between the 2 opening day games? Yeah, about a 5-minute break. I got to set it up. Doesn't take me long. I already got the lineups. I just got to replace the cards. That's all. A short little break. That is a tough 39 for Herndon, and Herndon gets the base hit. It's a single. He hits that one into right field, and Herndon gets to first. A 2-out single for Herndon. He's now 2 for 3. And a chance now for Chet Lemon. Mount Rushmore Tutorials is CP, ID Jester, Al Red Sox fan, and baseball demos. That I cannot disagree with at all. ID Jester is the master there. Al Red Sox fan, king of the hill, and baseball demos. That man knows his stuff as well. 2 outs. Herndon on at first. Nothing happening on any kind of strategy. Lemon will bat. Blyleven's pitch. That's a patient 57, and he plunked him. Ugh. Lemon gets plunked with the pitch. That's a hit batter, and that is something we know that Blyleven did not want to do, as he hits Lemon, and now runners at first and second, and the chance for Chris Potaro. Potaro right now is the unsung hero of this game. He is 2 for 2. He has 2 RBIs. 2 outs. Runners first and second. Tigers threatening. Blyleven trying to keep it where it's at. Last thing you want to do is always give a team back runs when you just got some yourself. Blyleven looking on. Herndon ready to go. Lemon ready to go. Pitch to Potaro. That is a tough 49. And that one is a ground ball to third base. Jacoby's up with it. Throws to first. And the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, and a hit batter. At the end of 6, the Indians lead it 4-2 on this opening day game at Tiger Stadium. Top of the 7th coming up. And yes, playing a 2020. Yes, I see you doing that there, Status Pro. I used to play the hell out of that game a lot when I was a lot younger. I always liked Status Pro baseball. I always liked the mechanics of it. Still a great game. Morris will come out to pitch. The top of the 7th. His fatigue inning is an 8, so he can still go, at least for this inning, before a fatigue card has to be placed on him. Julio Franco will lead off for Cleveland here. Of course, you know Franco did win the World Series with the White Sox in the 94 restart. Thank you very much there, Tribe fan, for the information. Thank you. Guys, if you want to give me any info, that is fine. Jack Morris will pitch to Franco. And that ball, that was Suicidice, and we'll re-roll again. That is a wheelhouse to Franco, but a wheelhouse 86 is just going to be chopped over to shortstop. And Trammell's going to get that one, throw to first for out number 1. Jack Morris pitched him a bad one, but Franco couldn't do anything with it. And Julio Franco is grounded out all 4 times. He is 0 for 4. Here is Mel Hall with 1 out. Morris with the pitch. That is an in-play 28. Base hit for Mel Hall. That is a single. Hall gets his 2nd hit of the game. And it's the 3rd time he's been on base. Now the batter is Joe Carter. I know, wasn't he amazing? Hall at first base, nothing on Strat dice, or nothing on Strat. So Morris will pitch to Carter. 1 out. Morris will pitch. And that is a tough 69, and that is a ground ball to second base. Carter's double play rating is a 6. Morris a 7. That's a 4. They're going to turn it. Second base to shortstop. Back to first for 2. That's the first double play of 1985. 4-6-3, side retired. No runs and a hit. And we are at the 7th inning stretch. And it is 4-2 Cleveland. If you're wondering when I'm going to do the first 10-minute ticker, that will be on the 7th. That will be the 7th inning stretch of the 2nd game. So you have to wait for that. Not a big one. There were only 5 games played on April 8th that day. 7th inning stretch, 4-2. I'll be right back. Usually got about 4 to 6 double plays. But I remember that one game where I had, I think, 8 double plays? Had 8 double plays in that game. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Bert Blyleven, this is fatigue inning, and he has only given up 2 runs, so he is still strong unless he gives up a run. Here on opening day, the Tigers will lead off with Lou Whitaker, and Whitaker is 1 for 2 in this game. Bert Blyleven, this will probably be his last inning anyway. So Whitaker up to bat. Bottom of the 7th, 4-2 Indians. Who will get their first win of this 1985 season? Blyleven pitches. That's a tough 77, and that is going to be a fly ball to center field. And that's going to be caught by Butler, out number 1. And now we'll see Alan Trammell, Hall of Famer. Meh, I don't think so. Trammell at plate. Blyleven looking to maybe do the job. And here's the pitch from Blyleven. And that is a patient 69 and ground ball to second base. And coming up with it is Bernazard. He'll throw to first for out number 2. And now here is Kirk Gibson. What pitcher fatigue? We'll use the same fatigue rule I used in 94. I'm not using batter's face. I'll use his rule. So a 7. If the pitcher has given up 3 runs or more by his fatigue inning, he is considered tired. And I have fatigue inning cards and all that ready to go if necessary. But other than that, he is not. He will not be. He's not tired. I'm using his rule, not using batter's face. Same rule I used for 1994. No change in the rules. Pitch from Blyleven to Gibson. That is a patient 81, and that's a fly ball center field. And coming under that will be Butler. He makes the catch. Out number 2. Actually, I'm sorry, that's out number 3. 3 straight fly outs to center field. So nothing across there for Detroit. It stays 4-2 Cleveland. And, of course, Yankees must lose the fixes in. We go to the top of the 8th, and Jack Morris is going to be done. So Detroit's going to the pen. They have They have 2 rights and a switch coming in. So I think we'll see a right-hander for the Tigers, and usually my rule is it has to be, I didn't set this up that way, did I? No, I did not. Let's see, get that in, not a problem, takes a second. Usually has to be the guy that pitched the most, and unless it's a save situation. And coming on to pitch for Detroit is going to be, since I got to try to keep it with with most games or most innings pitched. And that looks like that is going to be, let's see here, who's coming in. I think that's Lopez, yep. And that's going to be Aurelio Lopez is going to come in to pitch for the Tigers. So here's Aurelio Lopez. He was 3-7 with a 4.80 ERA. He pitched 86 innings. And he will be the right-hander against Pat Tabler. All right, let's not go irking my stuff tonight. Yankees are actually pretty good in 85. Yes, they were. They have an A grade in special results. And I'll give you a listing of the teams with results, but you'll see them. Aurelio Lopez will pitch to Tabler. He becomes the first release pitcher of this season. Top of the 8th inning. Lopez with the pitch. That's a patient 40, and that's going to be a base hit by Pat Tabler. That's a single. Tabler gets his second hit of the game. He will hold it first, and that will bring up Brooke Jacoby. Jacoby is 2 for 3 tonight. Tabler with no steal chance. Nobody out. Now a big insurance run for the Indians on first base. Lopez is short relief, which means he can pitch innings 8 and 9. Or unless he gives up 2 runs. Lopez's pitch. That's a tough 94, and that's a fly ball to left field. And Herndon's going to get to that one, and that is out number 1. Tabler, of course, stays at first. And now the catcher, Chris Bando. He got the start. He got the start in this game for Cleveland. And we may see, and this is the 8th inning, I think we may see a pinch hitter. His batting average against right-handers is 107. But Chris Bando did get the start in this game. I think we're going to see a pinch hitter, so let's do so. I think we take a look at the Cleveland bench, see who I want to bring in. And they're going to do so, and even though Bando's a switch hitter, but that's going to be it for Bando, as he's going to be out of there. And coming on to pinch hit for the Indians will be Jerry Willard. He was really their main catcher that year. He batted .294 with 7 home runs against rights. So here's Jerry Willard, and he'll also take over at catcher. Runner at first base, 1 out. Aurelio Lopez going to deal with Jerry Willard. Here's the pitch. And that is a in-play 07, and Jerry Willard is going to smack a double. He smacks it right into the outfield. And that is a grounder down the line. That's a grounder down the line in left field. Runners advance 2 bases. Tabler does not score. He does hold at third. And Willard on at second. A pinch hit double by Willard. Batter now will be George Vukovic. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Tiger's going to call the infield in. Aurelio Lopez coming on the mound already. He's given up a couple of hits. The Cleveland bullpen was not good. The Detroit bullpen was kind of meh. Vukovic a chance to give the Indians some runs. Runners at second and third, infield in. Here's the pitch, and that is a tough 51, and that's a fly ball to left field. Very shallow. Coming on to make the play is going to be Herndon. Tabler will not score. 2 outs. A tough fly out, and he stays. And the batter now is Tony Bernazard with 2 outs. The Detroit Tiger infield goes back to normal. Bernazard is 2 for 3, but he did have a big single, a 2 RBI single his last time up. The Rillo's card looks scary. Well, his ERA was 4.08, was 4.8. Detroit, this was a good Detroit team. It wasn't a great Detroit team. Their grade is a B in this. This was not the Tigers of last year. 2 outs, runners at second and third. You're going to see a lot of weird-looking cards in this 85 season. I took a good look at them. A lot of weird-looking cards. Of course, the 1985 season is much different than the 94 season. The 80s from about 1981 to 1980 to about 1993, they call it the defensive era. A lot of good defense back in the day. 1994 pretty much was the start of the steroid era. Runners at second and third. Bernazard the batter. Lopez trying to get a big out. Infield normal. Tough. 21 and swing and a miss. Struck him out. Lopez does the job. No runs. 2 hits for the Indians and they cannot score. Lopez does it and it stays 4-2 Cleveland. Timeout. Defense and speed, exactly. That's what the 80s are all about. And yes, that is my favorite period of baseball was the 80s. My favorite decade. Of course, my favorite season, of course, is 1986 with my Mets. But my Mets are very good in this season, too. They also have a grade of A. We'll be seeing a lot of Mets games, I'm pretty sure. Bottom of the eighth inning coming up. Bert Blyleven. His fatigue is 7. He is not tired yet. He did have 15 complete games in 85, so I'm going to keep him out there. And leading off for Detroit is going to be Lance Parrish. 86. Yeah, I know, right, Salvador? I know. 1990 Reds. Trust me, I actually went ahead and went to Joe Bryan and said 1990 would be a great season for a lot of my fans, since I have a lot of Reds fans. You know, be a great season to do for 1990. And unfortunately, 1990 is not available in payoff pitch or inside pitch. You want to play 90, you're going APA or probably back to base. We'll go to first. Parrish's steal rating is a 3, 10 on the dice, nothing happening. The batter now is Johnny Grubb, the DH for the Tigers. Okay, what happened to the sound? You sure you sure guys okay? Can you guys hear me? Back in business. Okay. All right. Don't know what's happening. My stream is saying I'm perfect. I'm going good here. Parrish on at first base. Grubb the batter. Tying run at the plate now. Blyleven's pitch. And that is a tough 74. And that's a ground ball to second base. Grubb, double play rating is a 9. 6. That is a 6. Second base to shortstop. Back to first for 2. Double play. Blyleven gets the twin killing. 2 outs. Grubb grounds out into the double play. And yes, we had that one game where I think we had 8 double plays. I don't remember what game was that. I think that was that a World Series game, or was that a World Series game? I know that wasn't an inside pitch game. I know that was ALCS game 5. That was game 5 of the ALCS. The Yankees and the White Sox. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there were 8 double plays in that game. 2 outs. Blyleven gets a lot of help from the twin killing, and the next batter is Daryl Evans. Evans the batter, now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Blyleven looking to try to keep it where it's at. Here's the pitch. That's a defense check, 20. This is only the second defense check we've had in this game. Range check to third base. The ball is hit to Jacoby. His range is a D. A 20 on the dice. That's going to go through for a hit. That's a base hit past Jacoby. Evans will be on it first. Wow. Does that double play big? Is that double play big now? Right past Jacoby, couldn't make the play at Tiger Stadium, and that is a hit. And now a chance for Larry Herndon. And with a runner on first base, Herndon's batting average, 233 against a righty. Do I want to go to the bench? Let me see here. Is there anybody I can bring up? Let's see. Tom Brookins would be the next guy. Nope. I'll leave Herndon in. He'll bat. Because usually in regular season action, I go by the amount of that bats. I just don't bring anybody in there. You got to try to be as realistic to the season as possible. Steeler fan and Philip Reynolds now join me here at Tiger Stadium. Cleveland leading 4-2. Bottom of the 8th, there are 2 outs. Blyleven will pitch to Herndon. And that is an 8. That's a tough 40. Base hit. Larry Herndon comes through with a single. Evans' run rating is a 4, so I have to draw the card. It's a sharp liner that drops in front of the left field, and Evans will only make it to second. It was not an automatic to third base, so Evans holds at second base, but the Tigers are still alive in the inning. Herndon gets his third hit of the game, and now a chance for Chet Lemon. Runners at first and second. Blyleven trying to keep it there. 2 outs. And I'm going to time out. I want to check the Cleveland bullpen. Let's see here. Let's see. Cleveland bullpen is garbage. Well, they did have only 60 wins, and they only had 60 wins in 1985. This bullpen is garbage. They could bring in, where's the closer? Did they ever have a closer? Yeah, they did. This team was their bullpen was garbage. I'm going to let Blyleven pitch. Bring in the closer in the 9th. Blyleven will pitch to Lemon. Bottom of the 8th inning, 4-2. Can Chet Lemon break it open for the Tigers here at Tiger Stadium? Fans on their feet here in opening day. Blyleven's pitch. Tough. 74, and that's a ground ball to second base. Bernazard's got it. Throws to first. Side retired. No runs. 3 hits for Detroit. They get nothing. 8 innings in the books. The Indians still lead it 4-2. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Will we see some 9th inning magic? Brett Butler due up. Aurelio Lopez is going to come out of the game. The Tigers will go to the bullpen. And they're going to bring in Bill Scherer, whatever you have to pronounce that. He will come in and pitch to Butler, lefty. Butler bats .332 against left-handers. Top of the 9th, 4-2 Cleveland. Looking to get a win here in Tiger Stadium to start the 85 campaign. Scherer with the pitch. That's a tough 94, and that's a fly ball to right field. Gibson will get to that one. And that is out number 1. Brett Butler 0 for 5 today. Here's Julio Franco at 26 years old. Scherer with the pitch. And that's a patient 98. And against the lefty, that is a fly ball to left field. And it's going to be Herndon making the catch. That's out number 2. And now here's Mel Hall with 2 outs. Mel Hall going up against Scherer, and we're going to see a pinch hitter. Hall has absolutely no average against lefties. So out he comes. Hall is the left fielder, so we'll see if I can coming into bat and taking over at left field for Cleveland will be Otis Nixon. He'll take over in left. For Hall. So Nixon now replaces him. I'll get his stats. So Otis Nixon will go up against Bill Scherer. 2 outs. The Butler didn't do it. Scherer's pitch. That's a 10. That's a patient 08. And that's going to be a base hit by Otis Nixon. And that's going to be more than that. That is a clean double into right center field. Nixon will hold at second. Pinch hit double. And now a chance for Joe Carter. And Bill Scherer will stay in there. Carter bats .248 against lefties, and he'll pitch to him. Big run, big insurance run at second base for the Indians. Scherer will pitch to Carter. And here is the pitch. And that is a ballpark 81 against the righty. That's going to be in play. In play 41. And that is against the lefty. That is a pop out to first base. That would have been a hit against the right-handed pitcher. Pop out to first. Daryl Evans is going to get to that one. And he makes the catch, and the inning is over. No runs and a hit for Cleveland. We go to the bottom of the ninth in this opening day game. The Indians leading 4-2. The Indians are going to go. Bert Blyleven has 15 complete games. Who is our closer? The Indians' closer that year with the most saves was Tom Waddle. He had 9 saves with a 4.87 ERA. The thing about playing these games sometimes, as you have hindsight when you look at the stats for a certain year, when these games are actually being played, I know for a fact that the managers in the clubhouse didn't have payoff pitch cards to look in and said, okay, well, this guy had a 4.87 ERA. I'm going to bring in this guy. I'm going to bring in that guy. I'm going to bring in that guy. They didn't have access to payoff pitch cards or Stratomatic cards, to help them out for that season. Because the season, of course, was being written. What do I do here? Do I let Blyleven complete the game? He had 15 complete games. Yeah, I'm going to let Blyleven stay in there. He's not tired. He's only given up 2 runs. Bert Blyleven's going to stay in, but Cleveland's bullpen is ready to go. Bottom of the 9th inning, Lou Whitaker leads off for Detroit. No, not that White Bears Den. Jeez. Blyleven will pitch to Whitaker. Bottom of the 9th inning, Cleveland trying to go to 1-0 in a long season. Or is it Lou Whitaker? I'm sorry, it's not Whitaker. Whitaker is not the leadoff batter. My bad. That is Chris Potaro. Chris Potaro's the leadoff batter. My bad. Potaro bats, not Whitaker. Potaro is 2 for 3. Blyleven will pitch. It's a 7. That's an in-play 46, and it's a ground ball to third. Jacoby's got it. Throws to first. Out number 1. Now the batter is Whitaker with 1 out. Blyleven checks and deals. Will we see some 9th inning magic for our first opening day game? Blyleven's pitch. Tough. 70. Not on that one. That's a ground ball to short. Coming up with it is Franco. He throws to first. Out number 2. And the last chance for the Tigers will be Alan Trammell. Trammell is 0 for 3. Blyleven has actually pitched very well. And he got a lot of help, too, getting out of some jams. Bert Blyleven dealing with Trammell. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. Do the Indians win their first game of the season? It's a tough 36. Yes, popped it up. Trammell pops it up to second base. Calling for it is Bernazard. Puts out his glove. Blop, and that's the ball game. The Cleveland Indians defeat the Detroit Tigers in their opening day telecast. But don't go away. We have a doubleheader coming up, so don't you dare leave. We got another game coming up, but I will give you the final results here. For the Cleveland Indians, 4 runs, 13 hits, no errors. For Detroit, 2 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Bert Blyleven, of course, gets the win. Morris is going to take the loss, and Bert Blyleven gets a complete game. The Indians will go to 1-0, and of course, Cleveland now goes to 1-0 in payoff pitch play. The Tigers drop to 0-1 in payoff pitch play. And payoff pitch play will matter. Winning games on the board will count for something near the end of the season. I might be using it as a tiebreaker. Thinking of it, I might use it as a tiebreaker, or if there is a tiebreaker, whoever had the most payoff pitch wins over the other team, okay, that will be the home team for that game. Bert Blyleven gets a complete game, and the Indians beat the Tigers 4-2. We will have a little timeout. Take a break, everyone. So we will be right back because I'll now do a quick reset. And it really doesn't matter how I put the cards away because every time a team comes up for a game, I have to make sure the 25-man roster is correct. And, of course, get the starting lineup, so we're using the as-played lineups. So it doesn't matter. I can put the cards away in any shape or form. When I was doing the 1994 season, I had to make sure the cards stayed in a certain order because I didn't have any as-played lineups to work with. How do I store my cards? He asks. They are stored in bags. They are well protected. No rubber bands. I take care of my crap. Do a quick shuffle of the fact deck here real quick. Only using one fact deck, but I shuffle it. And then at the end of 4.5 innings, I flip it. That's an automatic shuffle when you do that. Since I'm using it hybrid and I don't have to pull a card all the time. And I'll go ahead real quick and real fast here, well, actually, I don't have to worry about that. I just mark it. So we know that Cleveland won this game 4-2. And while you guys are looking, you may peruse the 1985 quick results charts and see where your team is at while I go ahead and get the second game round up. So there you go. Where's the bag go? It goes into boxes. I have boxes for each set. I have long boxes for each set, plenty of room to breathe. So there's the 1985 quick results charts. You might want to take a look and see where your favorite team is at as I now get the next game going between Toronto and Kansas City. So I'll let you guys take a look at that since that's not hidden from you. Payoff pitch, the one thing that Joe Bryan does, he cards every single player. So it's not like Stratomatic where you only get 30 players. Inside pitch cards, a lot of the players too. They're missing a few, but the ones they do miss are marginal. I have no problem with some of the players that Chris Davis does not card. If I need a card from Chris Davis, I downloaded all the PDFs. I can just print out the card I need, and I'll just add it to that team if I need it. But not necessary. So let's now put down there. So take a look, see what you like, see what you kind of like, see where your teams are, where their grades are going to be. What you might see. You'll see that the Mets have an excellent team this year, and they were good. They only missed the playoffs by 3 games behind the Cardinals. You'll see that the White Sox this year, who won the World Series in '94, they got a B grade. They're very possible. Remember, top 3 teams in each division make the playoffs. Top 3 teams. So we have 12 playoff teams in '85. We're not just doing it the normal way. I want more playoff teams. I want more meaningful games in September. That's why I added more playoff teams. And I think because I added more playoff teams was the reason why my '94 season was so successful, because we had more games near the end of the year. I mean, come on, we had a great doubleheader the last day of the '94 regular season before we started the playoffs. Doesn't take long to do this. Just give me a second, because now I got to write down the ratings. I go ahead and use Out of the Park Baseball and Action PC Baseball to get the 25 roster man lineups for that certain game. So that's where I get my 25-man lineups. I go ahead and create a block of games that we're going to use, and then I go ahead and set the cards up for the lineups. Out of the Park 25 is not always correct. They aren't. He's not always right, but I haven't had any. As long as you make sure you put in the as-played lineups, everything like that, usually it's on the mark. But they're not. You're correct. He's not always right, but so far I haven't had a problem to knock it. Action PC Baseball, I check first. Action PC actually is the better replay engine, where Out of the Park, to me, is the best career management simulation. I love them both. I love Out of the Park. I do a lot of work for Out of the Park as well, creating uniforms and things for them. I do a lot of things for Out of the Park and their forums. So, manually put in play results. I know that's one. If you could manually put in play results, Out of the Park would become even 50% better. I wish you could do that in Action PC Baseball too. That's why replay baseball is so well loved, because you can do that for replay baseball. Well, as I said, the one thing I love about Joe Bryan, you get every player. Although in his 1994 season, you don't. There's still a few players he was missing in 94. I found that marginal. He didn't have every player for 94, but that's okay. Sometimes, not every game, like Tony at CP Cards and Dice will say, no game engine is perfect. It's only as good as you want it to be, and will play as you want it to be. But no game engine is perfect, and no game engine is, 100% accurate. They're as accurate as they are as accurate as the next engine. So take a look at your quick results here. Orioles, Red Sox, Angels, White Sox, Tigers, Royals, Yankees, Blue Jays, A's and B's. The Texas Rangers were the worst team in that league. So was Cleveland, and they were both Fs. So I'm actually surprised Cleveland won that game. So if you were to roll that on quick results, Detroit was a B. So Cleveland pretty much rolled somewhere between a 2 of 5 and 11 to beat a B. So you can still do it. You could still do it. And on the National League, Cincinnati, Astros, Expos, Padres, B teams, Cardinals an A, Dodgers an A, Mets an A. The worst teams were the Pirates and the Giants in 85. Probably won't be seeing much of them in the playoffs. So if you guys liked it, I hope you enjoyed taking a good look at the the quick results chart. And we are ready to go for game 2. As Sebastian Stratt joins me, says, good evening, everyone. Go, Jays, go. He joins me for the second game. And why not? Because the Blue Jays are on tap. We now welcome you back here to our game here, our doubleheader on opening day for 1985. This is game number 2. We're at Royal Stadium. It will be the Toronto Blue Jays versus the Kansas City Royals. And this should be just as fun as the first game was. The Blue Jays are coming in with a heck of a team. Kansas City, of course, won the World Series this year in 85. So who knows what we're going to get out of these guys. It'll be Dave Steib versus Bud Black to start this game off. Are we all set? Let's go to the top of the first inning in game number 2. Buddy Black is the starting pitcher for the Royals. He was 10-15 with a 4.33 ERA for the Royals that year. NLCS preview. Well, it can't be an NLCS preview. This is the American League. Maybe an ALCS preview, possibly. Leading off for the Toronto Blue Jays will be second baseman Damaso Garcia. Game number 2 of this opening day doubleheader. Tim Pepper off work and headed to 1985. Bud Black's first pitch. That's a patient 75. Buddy Black is a lefty. Garcia bats .251, 2 homers against lefties in 1985. And again, as I said, that is a patient 75, and that is a ground ball to second base. That's picked up by White. He'll throw to first, out number 1. Next batter is the center fielder, Lloyd Mosby. I'm pretty sure Sebastian Stratt will recognize many of these Blue Jays names. Black will pitch to Mosby. Mosby batted .256, 7 homers against lefties. That is an in-play 55, and that's a ground ball to third. That's picked up by the George Brett. He's got it, throws to first, out number 2. And that will bring up, in my opinion, one of the definitely belongs in the hall of the very good. And that would be left fielder George Bell. George Bell batted .252, 11 homers against lefties in 1985. George Bell, Hall of Famer, maybe not, but definitely belongs in the hall of the very good. This guy was a hitter. He was a slugger. You think I remember that Brett guy? I'm pretty sure you do. 2 outs. Bud Black will pitch. And that is a 9. That's in play. 61. That's a fly ball to right field. Picking up with that is going to be Pat Sheridan, and he makes the catch for the out. And a 1-2-3 inning by Bud Black. We go to the bottom half of the first inning, and that will bring up the pitcher for the 1985 Blue Jays, and that is Dave Steib. 14-13 with a 2.48 ERA in 1985. One of the leaders in ERA in the American League that year. Dave Steib, in my opinion, another player that should belong in the Hall of the Very Good. Bottom of the first. Now the Royals fans get to see their guys. And that will bring up the center fielder, Willie Wilson. Dave Steib is a right-hander. Wilson batted .272, 3 homers against rights. George Bell was awful when with the White Sox. Yeah, with the White Sox, yes, but not with the Blue Jays. Steib's pitch, and that is an in-play 85, and that's a fly ball straight away center field. Coming up with it is going to be Mosby. Makes the catch, out number 1. And now coming up will be the right fielder, Pat Sheridan. Steib with the pitch. And that is a 7. That's a tough 98. Fly ball to right field. Jesse Barfield's going to get over there and make the catch for out number 2. 2 men down. And now it'll bring up that guy. He goes by the name of George Pine Tar Brett. In 1985, he was still killing it. .337 average, 20 home runs against right-handers. Brett was still a monster. Steib will pitch to Brett. And that is a tough 36. And in this case, that is going to be a pop out to second base. And coming under it is going to be Damaso Garcia, makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning for those two, for the Blue Jays, for the Royals as well. No runs at the end of 1. We've got no score. We go to the top of the second. Coming up to bat for Toronto will be right fielder Jesse Barfield. Another good player. Barfield batted .309, 9 homers against lefties in 85. Pitch from Black. And that is a patient 66. And that's going to be a base hit for Jesse Barfield. It's a single. Barfield gets to first. A leadoff hit. And now we'll see the designated hitter, Jeff Burrows. Burrows against lefties, .266, 6 home runs in 85. Barfield, a 4C steal rating, 5 on the dice, nothing happening. Burrows will hit away. Black's pitch. That's a defense check, 97. That should be okay. That's a range check to second base. The ball is hit to Frank White. His range is a B, but that's not going to be a problem. That's a 97 on the board. He'll make the play. And that's going to be an out, and that's going to be a ground ball plus advance. So the only play is to first base. Barfield moves to second, and that is 1 out. Next batter is the first baseman, Willie Upshaw. Willie Upshaw will go up against Bud Black. Barfield on at second base. Here's the pitch. And that is a patient 73. And that is going to be a ground ball to short. Up with it is going to be Onyx Concepcion. He throws to first for out number 2. Barfield with a run rating of 7 has to hold at second. A run rating of 8, I'll move him to third. But Barfield stays at second base, and there are 2 outs. Next batter is the catcher, Buck Martinez. Martinez at the plate. Blue Jays threatening, but we'll see if the Royals can hold out. Here's the pitch. And that is a tough 44. And that is going to be a ground ball to third. Up with it is Brett. He's got it. Throws to first. Side retired. A leadoff single for the Blue Jays, but they don't get the runner in. Going to the bottom of the second, we still got no score. Leading off for the Royals will be their designated hitter, George Orta. George Orta, another great baseball name, George Orta. Orta is the DH for the Royals this year. Orta was 34 years old this season, and the funny thing is we still got Orta playing an inside pitch. Pitch from Steib, and that is a tough 53 and fly ball to left field. George Bell gets to that one. That's out number one. Next up, first baseman Steve Balboni. I remember him. Balboni batted .252, 28 home runs against rights. You throw a wheelhouse pitch to him, it's not going to be good. Royal Stadium in 1985, Pitchers Park, pretty much. 1-43 left, 1-30 right for wheelhouse. Combined 73. Makes that a bit of a Pitchers Park. Steve will pitch to Balboni. And that is a tough 76. And that is a fly ball straightaway center field. And it's going to be Tony Fernandez making that catch, 2 outs. Two men down. And now we will see left fielder Daryl Motley. He's in left field for this game. Motley, 198 average, 9 homers against rights. Steib with the pitch. That's a patient 37, and he plunked him. Ugh. Motley gets plunked with a hit by pitch, and he will trot down to first as Steib decided maybe he didn't like Motley's haircut or something. I don't know. Hit batter keeps the inning alive, and that will bring up the second baseman, Frank White. White batted .249, 13 homers against rights. Motley not running with 2 outs. The one thing about payoff pitch, I can be a lot more lenient with strategy if I want to. Here's the pitch from Steib. And that is a tough 64, and that's a fly ball to right field. Barfield gets under that one, and he'll put it away. No runs, no hits, a hit batter, but that's it. At the end of 2, we still have no score between the Blue Jays and the Royals. In the second game of our opening day doubleheader. Top of the third coming up. Leading off for the Blue Jays, third baseman Garth Orge. Orge batted .310, 5 homers against lefties in 85. Pitch from Black. That is an in-play 0-2, and that's going to be a base hit for Orge. He goes ahead and smacks that into left field. That's going to bounce off the wall. Orge is going to have himself a leadoff double for the Blue Jays. And he will hold at second base. And now the shortstop, Tony Fernandez. Fernandez against lefts, .294, no homers in 85. Runner at second base. Bud Black looking in. And now Fernandez a chance to maybe get Toronto on the board. Pitch from Black. That's a wheelhouse 83, though. That's going to be a fly ball center field. And coming under that is going to be Wilson. And he makes the catch. And Ord stays at second base, 1 out. Run rating of 5. I wouldn't send him anyway. So Ord stays at second, 1 big out. And now we go to the top of the order. Here's Damaso Garcia. He is 0 for 1. That was a wheelhouse attempt. Garth Ord with a steal rating of 3F. 3 stolen bases, 6 caught stealing. No. Garcia bats. Black will pitch. That is a 10. That's a ballpark 66. And that is going to be in play for Garcia. In play 69 is a ground ball to second base. Easy pickup there by White. He throws to first. That's out number 2. Orge does go to third. With a run rating of 5, although really on a ground out to second, I don't know if he actually can get to third. If run on second, if run rating of 7 or more, and ball is hit to second or third base. Run rating of 5. If I follow the rule exactly, he has to stay at second base, does he? Yeah. Let's follow the rule. Let's follow the rule. Orge stays at second. But there are now 2 outs. And the batter is Lloyd Mosby. Mosby grounded out his last time up. So far, these 2 pitchers are doing pretty well. Orge on at second, a leadoff double. Blue Jays trying to get him in. Black with the pitch. That's a tough 0-6. And that is going to be a swing and a miss. Struck him out. And that is the first strikeout for Bud Black. He averaged 5.4 strikeouts per 9. And a leadoff double, and the Blue Jays can't do anything with it. No runs and a hit. Bottom of the third coming up. Here is Steib. Leading off for Kansas City will be the catcher, Jim Sundberg. Steib will pitch. And that is a tough 55. And that is a fly ball to right field. Barfield will make the catch, out number 1. And now that will be shortstop Onyx Concepcion. He batted 197 with 2 homers against rights. Onyx Concepcion. I don't remember. Is he related? Was he what? Is he related to Dave Concepcion? Was that his brother? Or something like that? Was he related? I don't remember. I never checked. Someone let me know. Steib will pitch to Concepcion. And that is a 9. That's a tough 97. That is a fly ball to left field. Bell will get to that one. And that is out number 2. Little earthquake there. But everything's fine. 2 men down. And now Willie Wilson comes up to bat. Steib looking in, and here's the pitch. And that is a tough 18, and that's a swing and a miss. Struck him out. Steib brings up with a big strikeout, and that's his first. He averaged about 5.7 per 9. And the Royals are put away 1-2-3. No score at the end of 3 innings. Like to remind you, tomorrow being election day, I will not have any baseball. No games no inside pitch or payoff pitch. There'll be no games tomorrow. And for those of you, when this game is over, don't leave yet. I do have something to say to everyone. But, when this game is over, just let me say something. But anyway, but our next game I'll return on Wednesday, and it will be the New York Yankees versus the Boston Red Sox. Did you hear me, Salvador America? The next game will be Yankees and the Red Sox at Fenway Park. So if Salvador America just heard me on that, you better not miss that game. That will be when I will do that game on Wednesday, and that is the April 10th game. As a member, we do every other game. So yes, Yankees, Red Sox scheduled for the next game on the board. Top of the fourth, Bud Black will pitch to George Bell. And here's the pitch. And that is a ballpark 52, and that's in play. And in play 59 is a fly ball to right field. And Sheridan will make that catch. And that is out number 1. And the next batter is Jesse Barfield. Barfield singled his last time up. He's 1 for 1. Black with the pitch. That's a patient 89, and that's a ground ball hit to short. Up with it easily is Concepcion, throws to first for the second out. Wikipedia says no relation, but he is related to a Jose Lean. Okay, thank you, Lucas McCain, and welcome to Royal Stadium, by the way. Here is Jeff Burrows. Burrows 0 for 1. Black with the pitch. And that's a tough 62 and fly ball to right field. Sheridan's going to make that play as well. And a 1-2-3 inning for Bud Black. We still have no score going into the bottom of the fourth. Pitcher's duel, at least starting out as one. How to keep track of the league standings. I'll have to show you at the end. But I'm writing it all on paper. Although I do have my league standings I'll be putting into Payoff Pitch Gamers Network once a week. Everyone will see the standings. But I keep everything on a piece of paper. I'm trying not to do this electronically in any way except for scheduling. That's it. Bottom of the fourth inning, here comes Steib. And the batter is Pat Sheridan. As everything's being done by cards and dice. You got to stop by the Yankee clubhouse with my bat and say hello before the game. Well, the game's in Fenway Park. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got to stop by the Yankee clubhouse. Mm-hmm. Game's in Fenway Park. It's Yankees at Red Sox. Steib will pitch to Sheridan. And that is a tough 40. And that is a ground ball to third. And an easy play there by Orge. Throws to first. Out number 1. Next batter is some bum by the name of Bert. Some bum. Some nobody. Nobody special. Bert will... Here's the pitch. Steib. That is a tough 12. And that's a swing and a miss. Struck him out. Steib strikes out Bert. Second strikeout for Steib. The batter now will be George Orta. Orta 0 for 1. Steib with the pitch. That's a patient 76 and fly ball center field. Mosby's going to make the play. And a 1-2-3 inning. And we've got no score at the end of 4. Hey, I made a rhyme. Who's going to break through first in this opening day game between the Blue Jays and the Royals? We now go to the top of the 5th. Leading off for the guys north of the border is Willie Upshaw. Can I post a link to the payoff site you mentioned in the video description? Yes, I can. It's a Facebook site. I'll go ahead. It's Facebook. I'll go ahead and post it for you. Absolutely, I can do that. Bud Black will pitch to Upshaw. Lefty against lefty. Top of the 5th. Black's pitch. That's a tough 35. And that's a swing and a miss. Struck him out. Upshaw goes down on strikes. Second strikeout for Black. And now Buck Martinez with one out. Black pitches. That's a ballpark check, 44. That's going to be That's going to be in play. In play, 52. Fly ball to right field. And Sheridan gets under that one. He'll put it away for out number 2. And now Garth Orge. He hit a double his last time up. Black with the pitch. That's a patient 69 and fly ball to right field again. Sheridan getting a lot of work. He measures it, puts it away, and another 1-2-3 inning for Buddy Black. Halfway through the game, we still got no score. It is an open group. Yes, it's open. I think maybe you have to apply for it, but don't worry. Tony at CP Cards and Dice is the moderator. So trust me, he'll let anybody in for payoff pitch. He's very lenient. He's not like the guy that treated me like crap at the Inside Pitch Facebook site, for those of you who don't know the story of that. Anything I post on Inside Pitch goes into Tabletop Sports Plus. And I don't get to post it, and I don't post that much there either. I don't want to overflow that site with certain things. Bottom of the 5th inning, Steib will come out to pitch, and it will be Steve Balboni leading off for KC. Here's the pitch from Steib, and that is a patient 96, and that's a fly ball to left field. Bell gets under that one. He'll put it away, out number 1. Next batter will be Daryl Motley. Steve plunked him his last time up. We'll see if Steve tries not to hit him this time. That's a tough 66, and that's grounded to second base. And Garcia will take care of this one. Throws to first for the second out. And now we'll see Frank White. Daryl Motley crew. I'll post it. Not a problem. Matter of fact, I'll put it in the chat as soon as this inning is over. Dave Steib will pitch to White. And that is an in-play 40, and that is a popped up. That's popped up to third. Orge is going to make the play. And the side is retired. Another 1-2-3 inning by Dave Steib. At the end of 5, there's still no score. Give me a timeout for a moment. Take me a second here real quick. There you go. Just click on that there, Forever Maine. That'll bring you right to the group. And, of course, since my chat stays open, anybody who's not a member of the Payoff Pitch Gamers Network, that's where I'll post standings and the schedule and the upcoming schedules and lineups. It's the only place I'll put them. I will not put them in Tabletop anymore. Not that I have no problem with Tabletop Baseball Plus. I just don't want to overload Earl's site at Tabletop Sports Plus. Top of the 6th inning, who leads off? Tony Fernandez for the Blue Jays. He's 0 for 1. Pitch from Black. That's a patient 91, and that is going to be a ground out to short. Easy pickup there by Concepcion. He'll throw to first to get the out. That's one down. Here's Damaso Garcia. Black with the pitch. That's a tough 99. Fly ball to left field. And that's going to be Motley making the catch. 2 outs. These pitchers are on their game today. No problem there, Dave Little. You're welcome. Anybody can join that group. Just make sure you apply for it. Trust me, Tony at CP Cards and Dice, he'll let you in. There's not a problem. Tony is very good. Tony is the best. Don't have to worry about him. Here's Lloyd Mosby. And, of course, you'll also get a chance to talk with Joe Bryan, who makes this awesome game. Mosby the batter, and he's 0 for 2. Black with the pitch. That is a tough 51. And what we got? Ground ball to first base. Easy play there by Balboni. He'll tag the bag himself. And another 1-2-3 inning. Nothing for the Blue Jays. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Yep, no rare plays yet. No double zeros. Bottom of the 6th inning, here is Jim Sundberg for Kansas City. Who's going to break through first? And, of course, that not only hit my tower, it went all the way behind everything. And, of course, it went behind the router. And that was the white die. But lucky for me, I have a spare. I'll get that later. We'll re-roll. Pitch. That is an in-play 76. And that is a fly ball center field. Coming up with this one is going to be Mosby. Makes the catch, out number 1. One man out. And here's Onyx Concepcion. Steib strong. Here's the pitch to Concepcion. That is an 11. That's a defense 80. That should be okay. Error check to third base. So the ball is hit to Orge. His error rating is a 2. And it's a 1 to 58 would be an error, but that is an 80 on the dice. It's going to be a great play by Orge. Throws to first, out number 2. As Orge avoids the error. And now we will see Willie Wilson. 2 outs. That's a tough 33 against the right-hander, and that's going to be a base hit for Willie Wilson. It's a single for Wilson. He will go to first. And that is the first base hit off of Dave Steib. He went 5 2/3, no hits. First hit off of Steib. Wilson gets to first. He's got a 7 on the dice for a 6B steal rating. Wilson has 43 stolen bases, but with that 7, he cannot go anywhere. And the batter will be Pat Sheridan. Dave Steib, for the first time, has to pitch to someone with a runner on base. But there are 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Sheridan. That's a tough 78, and that's not a problem. Ground ball to second base, and it's going to be picked up by Garcia. He'll throw to first, and the inning is over. No runs for the Royals. They do get their first hit. In a great pitcher's duel here at the end of 6, we are still scoreless. Who is going to break through? Top of the 7th coming up. George Bell will go up against Bud Black. Both pitchers are strong. Bud Black is a fatigue rating. The 7th inning is his fatigue rating, and he's going to be fine. They'll let him pitch. He's not allowed. Bud Black is only allowed 2 hits. Bell is the batter. Bullpens are getting ready, but so far the starting pitching has been masterful in this game. Here's the pitch. And that is a defense check 61. That could be interesting. Error check to shortstop. The ball is hit to Concepcion. His error rating is a 4, a 1 to 39, a 61 is fine. Nice play by Concepcion, throws to first, out number 1. And now Jesse Barfield. Bud Black looking in. Barfield the batter. Here's the pitch. And that is a ballpark again. 35 against the righty. That's in play. In play 14. That's a base hit by Barfield. And he smacks that one all the way into the left center field corner. Barfield rounding second. Heading for third. He's got a triple. A 14 against the lefty. And an in play, and Barfield safe at third with a triple. And for the first time in the game, we got somebody in scoring, really somebody 90 feet away. Jesse Barfield, a big one-out triple. And the batter is Jeff Burrows. Runner on third, 1 out. Royals calling the infield in. Black looking into Burrows. Barfield trying to maybe get home. Here's the pitch. It's a in play 51, and that against the lefty. That's an in play 51, and that is going to be a ground ball to first base. That is a 6. The runner, and here comes Barfield. The runner on third is out at home. Batter safe. Burrows gets to first base. Barfield thrown out at the plate on an infield in. 2 outs. Fielder's choice. On a 6 on the die roll, infield in, and Burrows hits a grounder. But now there are 2 outs. And a chance for Willie Upshaw. Bud Black pitching a gem, so is Steib. Pitch on the way, tough, 54, and that is going to be a ground ball to first base. Balboni will take it himself, tag the bag, and that will do it. A triple by the Blue Jays, but a good infield in play does the job, and they do not score. No runs and a hit. And we are at the 7th inning stretch in this game. We are tied at 0. And I will be right back. Everybody, it's a 7th inning stretch. What is it time for? Yes, people, it's everybody's, I think probably everybody's favorite part of the game. And yes, it is. It is time for the 10-minute ticker. The 10-minute ticker returns. Now, for those of you who don't know about the 10-minute ticker, this is how it works. The 10-minute ticker is based on the quick results charts that you saw. No re-roll. It's automatic. It's automatic. There's no re-roll on that infield in play. No. Check your chart. It's a 6 to 8. The batter is out. The runner is out. Here's how a 10-minute ticker results works. Here is your quick results charts. Each team has a grade, and these are all graded by Joe Bryan. Bryan did every season. Each team has a grade. Let's say that the Baltimore Orioles have a grade of B. Let's say the Orioles were taking on the Oakland Athletics. They have a grade of C. This is what the Orioles would have to roll in order to win. A 4-7 and a 12 on a 2D6. So that's how they would have to do that. Every team is graded, and every team is different too. He actually redid this. Normally, it was just one roll for all the it was one roll for all and that was it. He made changes. Now, every single team makes a difference if they're on the road or at home. So this is a 85 season quick results charts. What I did is I had to create a schedule where you can actually see the results available by the days. And of course, the games in yellow are the games that are being done on the board. I am not a software master, unfortunately. And I use LibreOffice, not Microsoft Office. Does anybody know how to create a database where if I go ahead and put in some data, it will automatically populate certain cells on Microsoft Office or anything like that? If anybody has an idea, email me at rjl518@yahoo.com, and maybe I can do that, because I'll tell you the truth, creating these schedule sheets is a real pain in the butt. I don't have to do it, but I do it for you guys so you can see the actual roles. Now, another question I have. This is the next day to be done in the game, okay? This is going to be done on Wednesday. Normally, I would do another day and every day, here. These are days that are not, this is not a scheduled day that I would play a game on here. Do you guys have any issue with me doing this in the background, rolling? Do you want to see the rolls for the days that a game is not being played? Or only on the days where we actually have a game played? For instance, the next day is April 10, and the Yankees are at Boston, and of course I'll do a 10-minute ticker on this day. But we're not playing a game on the 9th. Does anybody have do you want to see the rolls on the day do you want to see the rolls on the day that's not played? And if I do that, that makes it a very long 10-minute ticker, because then we're rolling for 2 days worth. So I don't know what your attention spans are in these games, but I'll do that if you want. And I will not do the dice rolls in the background for days that are not played. I will also not go ahead. So on this date, when I play on Wednesday this game, you would see the rolls for the 9th and the 10th. It doesn't matter to you guys. Well, it doesn't matter. Salvador America from Remain said, you'd like to see the rolls for days 1 and 2 today, but it's up to you. Well, this day is not being this. I would roll. You would see the day for the day before and the day after. But the problem is I want to see the roll, because then I don't know the record for the game being played on the 10th. So I'll have to see what happens, what I want to do with that. In the meantime, we only got 3 games scheduled for the 10-minute ticker. So for today. So here's what we do. The Texas Rangers are at the Baltimore Orioles. Texas is an F and Baltimore is a B. Texas needs a 2-5 or a 10 to beat Baltimore. And I use the 2D10 to decide the score. Texas rolls. That is a 5. And the Rangers win the game. They beat the Orioles 6-4. And of course, I'll keep track of the standings on a different sheet. New York Yankees at Boston. I know Salvador America is interested in this one. Yankees need a 2-7 to beat the Red Sox. Roll 8th and 9th of April today is what you're saying. Okay. All right. We'll see what we do here. So, Yankees, Red Sox, A versus B. Yankees need a 2-7, and that is a 10. It's a win for the Red Sox. They beat the Yankees 2-0. Boston beats the Yankees. Montreal at Cincinnati. For you Reds fans. Maybe late in the season with the tight pennant race. Well, late in the season, okay, and for September, I'm going to do every day of that month. That's the difference. We're doing every other day, but when we get to September, okay, or the later, and the 9th of the Toronto-Kansas City goes final. That could be if you guys want to wait around for that. Montreal at Cincinnati. The Expos need a 2-6 to 10. And that is a 6. The Expos get the win. They win that game 4-2. Now I'll tell you what, I'll go on to the 9th. Minnesota at California. Twins need 2-6-12. That is a win for the Twins. They win that game 8-2. White Sox at Milwaukee. That is a 7. The White Sox win that game 6-5. Boo-hoo-hoo. Yep. Sorry, Steeler fan. Oakland at Seattle. That is a 7. That's a win for the Mariners. They win that game 5-0. Pittsburgh at Chicago Cubs. That's a 7. That's a win for the Cubs. They win that game 6-4. Los Angeles Dodgers at Astros. Steeler fan, are you watching? Will your Astros win game 1? They are playing the Dodgers, one of the best teams in the league. Dodgers need a 3-7. It's a win for the Astros. They beat the Dodgers 8-5. Astros get the first win. St. Louis Cardinals taking on the New York Mets. Both teams are rated an A. My Mets were horrible in 94. Can my Mets get an opening day win? It's an 8. Yes, my Mets get an opening day win. They win the game 5-4. They beat the Cardinals. Atlanta at Philadelphia. Philadelphia, a better team than the Braves. The Braves need a 2-6-10. That is a win for the Phillies. They win that game 4-2. And finally, San Diego at San Francisco. The Padres were a good team that year. San Francisco was awful. That is a 9, but it doesn't matter. San Francisco beats the Padres by a score of 7-0. So I'll do the game and the next day over so you can see. So there you go, guys. There's your first off 10-minute ticker for the opening day on my 1985 payoff pitch season. If your team won, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. Now we get back to our game here. Bottom of the 7th inning, Blue Jays and Royals tied at 0. And by doing it that way, you guys get to actually see the dice rolls. There's no cheating. There's no nothing. It's all on the dice. Steeler fan, yep. There's always 2 days from now. There is that too. Yeah, right? Steeler fan knows better about the Astros. He knows the quick result chart, loves his Astros, but the board game doesn't. Steeler fan can attest to that, can't he? All he had to do was win one game in a 3-game series against the Reds. Yep, White Sox match number 161. All the Astros had to do was win one game against the Reds in a 3-game series, and the last 3 games of the regular season in 94, and they couldn't do it. No matter how hard I tried. But of course I didn't try. I have to play for both teams. Bottom of the 7th inning, back to this game. It will be George Brett leading off for Kansas City. I forgot how much fun the 10-minute ticker was. At the Dome, too, yeah. You lost all 3 games at the Dome, and then you get no hit by the Giants in the wild card playoff. You get no hit by Bill Swift. For those of you who don't know about that, check my channel, my 1994 season restart. I did make a playlist for it. Find the Giants-Astros game wild card playoff. It was a no-hitter. The Giants, Bill Swift and the Giants no-hit the Astros in a playoff game. First no-hitter I ever rolled with any game system I played. Here's George Brett. Tough, 21, and that's going to be a base hit for George Brett. He gets a single. Leadoff hit for Kansas City. He will hold it first. Lots of dome foam sold in that Red Series, though. Yeah, I'm sure there was lots of dome foam. But not for the reason you were hoping for. Here's George Orta. George Brett, he actually has a steal rating of a 2A, but he's not going to steal there, as Orta will bat. Steib looking on to Orta. Here's the pitch. That's a 9. It's a tough 40. And that is going to be a ground ball to third base. Order's double play rating's a 7. That's a 6. That's a 9. It's going to be a fielder's choice. The throw goes to second. Brett is out, but Order's safe at first. 1 out. On a fielder's choice. And the next batter will be Steve Balboni. How far does Brett's in play go? Up to 47 against right-handed hitters. He was a heck of a player. He's got a he did bat over 3 in the 330s, so he's gonna have some good hitting numbers. Remember, we're gonna see a lot more Royals games in the future. Steve against Balboni, runner on first is Orta. 1 out. Steib with the pitch. That's a patient. It's a 50, and that's a base hit for Balboni. It's going to be a single. That's a sharp liner that drops in front of the left fielder. Orta will only get to second, and it will hold there. And now the Royals are in business with runners at first and second and 1 out. And the batter will be Daryl Motley. Fans here at Royal Stadium trying to see if they can get an opening day win. Steib will pitch to Motley. That is a patient 63, and that is a ground ball to second base. Double play rating 9, 6. That's a 4. Second base to shortstop. Back to first for 2. Double play. Blue Jays get out of the inning. 4-6-3. No runs, 2 hits, and it stays 0-0. At the end of 7. I'm going to have no voice at the end of this night. Try not to get super excited. It's only opening day. We go to the top of the 8th inning. And of course, when this season comes to an end, I will do another season selection show for you guys to vote on that season, whenever that season will be in. But that's at least 4 months from now. If I can play a game every day, we'll see. I'm going to try. Hopefully I get back to work soon with this COVID. Let's see, where are we? Top of the 8th inning, it will be Buck Martinez leading off for the Blue Jays. Bud Black will pitch. And that is a patient 12, and he walked him. Bud Black walks Martinez. Now the Jays have a man on first. And that is the first walk issued by Black. He averaged 2.6 walks per 9. That's the first walk issued by him. And the batter is Garth Orge. Nothing on Strat for Martinez. He will stay at first. And Orge will hit away. Bud Black will bat. It's an 8. Tough. 34. And that is a pop out. That is a pop out to second base. Underneath it is White. Makes the catch. Out number 1. Nice pitch by Black to get Orge. And now we will see Tony Fernandez. Martinez still on at first. Bud Black trying to keep this where it's at. Top of the 8th inning, no score. Both pitchers are fine. No fatigue rating at all at the moment. They're both pitching gems. Black with the pitch. That is a tough 93, and that's a ground ball to short. Fernandez double play rating's a 7, 6. That is an 8. Buck Martinez will be thrown out at second. They will not get Fernandez, and that's 2 outs. Another fielder's choice. And now it's up to Damaso Garcia with 2 outs now. Black pitching to Garcia. Fernandez on at first. Pitch coming. That's a patient 73. And ground ball to second base. Easy pickup by Frank White. Throws to first. Side retired. The pitching has been exceptional in this ball game today. Nothing for Toronto. We go to the bottom of the eighth. Still no score. Here's Steib. And Frank White leads off for the Royals. Steib looking on. Here's the pitch to White. And that is a tough 87. And that ground ball to shortstop. Easy pickup by Fernandez. Throws to first. Out number one. For people that love pitchers duels, this is what you got. Here's Jim Sundberg. Steib will pitch. That's a tough 1267. That's a tough 67. And that's a ground ball to second base. Garcia's got it. Throws it over to first. Out number two. And the batter now, Onyx Concepcion. Steib looking in. Here's the pitch. That's a 6. It's an in-play 55. Ground ball to third base. And Orge has got it. Has it. Throws to first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Steib. Nothing there for Kansas City. I don't get many games like this, but I'm enjoying it for immensely because I do like the occasional pitcher's duel. 8 innings in the books. Still no score. When both higher than double play, runner to second, play goes to first. Yeah, I know about that too. I know about that. I was thinking about using ID gestures charts. But me, I do believe in rule. I only got a couple of house rules. I prefer rules as written, even though I do make a couple of changes. But that one, I'll just stick with it because there are certain reasons why Joe Bryan made the game the way he does, in order for certain things to come up realistically, and that's why I think he made the rules as it is. But like you said, forever. As I said, you know what? You play the game the way you wish to play it. He always said there's no wrong way to play the game. No wrong way to play the game. FYI, 14-3 Giants. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Monday night, right? Top of the 9th inning. Will we see some 9th inning magic for the first time in 1985? Bud Black will take the mound, and it will be Lloyd Mosby leading off for Toronto. Mosby 0 for 3. Both these pitchers are pitching a gem. Black will pitch to Mosby. That's a patient 61. Base hit. Lloyd Mosby single. He goes ahead and smacks that one into left field. Mosby will hold it first. Leadoff single. His steal rating is a 5, and he's got a very good chance to steal, and I might just do it. The next batter is George Bell. Lloyd Mosby had 37 stolen bases in 85. Steal rating is a 5. Bud Black's hold is a 6. I don't really want to use the optional jump chart. I'm thinking of just using the original jump chart here. Give me one moment. I just checked that rule. Give me one moment. I use the auto steal, and I also use the jump rating. So Bud Black's hold rating is a 6. He's got a good rating. Mosby's steal rating's a 5. You know what? I think I'll go back. I think I'll just use the optional jump chart. So here's where we go. Here's where we go. Lloyd Mosby's steal rating is a 5. Bud Black's hold rating is a 6. I draw a card. A 0 to 52, Mosby goes. 53 to 56, he attempts with a poor jump. 57 to 99, he does not. At the 41, there he goes. Mosby going down. His steal rating is a C. Sundberg's arm is a 3. So it's a normal chance. The throw to second base, normal. He is out at second base. Jim Sundberg guns him down. 1 out. Sundberg nailed him. Lloyd Mosby caught stealing. On a normal chance, that is an out, and he is done. 1 out, and George Bell, the batter, as the Blue Jays trying to make something happen. He had a lot of stolen bases. It made sense to send him. Bud Black will pitch to Bell now. That's a tough 52. And a ground ball to third base. Up with it is Brett. Throws it over to first for out number 2. And now Jesse Barfield. 2 outs. Bud Black will pitch to Barfield. Pitch coming. And that is a defense check 83. That should be fine. Error check to third base. The ball is hit to Brett. His error rating is a 4. That's an 83. Not a problem for Brett. He's got it. Throws to first. Side retired. And nobody can cross the plate. No runs and a hit in the top of the 9th. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Still no score. And the top of the order for Kansas City, here is Willie Wilson. Dave Steib will pitch. Steib had 8 complete games. Bud Black had 5. Might be taking these guys out at the end of this inning if it goes to extras, because they normally would take them out. Might have to take them out. Bud Black on the bench, and now Dave Steib will pitch to Wilson. Could we be looking at our first extra inning game of 1985? Steib will pitch to Wilson. And that is a ballpark 68, and that's going to be in play. In play 70, fly ball to right field. Barfield gets to that one. Out number 1. Next batter is Pat Sheridan. Steib pitches to Sheridan. That's a patient 84. And that's a ground ball to second base. And it's going to be picked up by Garcia. Throws to first, out number 2. And now with one swing of the bat, he can do it. And that is George Brett. Can Brett be the hero of today's game here at Royal Stadium? Steib looking into Brett. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. It's a patient 06, and that's going to be a walk. George Brett trots down to first. 2-out walk. And now a chance for George Orta. And Orta batted .274 against righties, and he will bat. George Brett, winning run at first base. But Steib has been smothering, just like Black. Bottom of the 9th, no score. Here on opening day in Kansas City. We already had one good game earlier. Let's see how this one ends. Steib will pitch to Orta. It's a ballpark 94. It's going to be in play. And an in-play 26, base hit for George Orta. It's a single, though. Brett, with a run rating of 6, will automatically make third, and he'll hold there. And now the Royals winning run 90 feet away. And the batter is Steib Balboni. Balboni is 1 for 3. Steib has been excellent, yet to give up anything. 2 outs. Balboni bats .252. He's at first base. Kansas City going to check the bench to see if there's anybody they can bring in. And the answer is possibly, if you want to. But I think with a .252 average, I think you stick with him. Plus, he's got 28 home runs. Steib Balboni will bat. And Dave Lettle says, bring in a contact hitter. Bring in a contact hitter, he says. Well, remember, doing a regular season, I have to go by at-bats. So the next available hitter really I could use if I go by at-bats would be this guy. But really think bringing a contact hitter, Dave? So I take out Steib Balboni. He bats .252. You know, less important with 2 outs, but there are 2 outs. Make a change, what you're saying, Dave? Make a change? Yes or no? Make a change? Bring in a different hitter? Right. Okay. So I'll say make a hitter. So Steib Balboni will come out of the game, and coming into pinch hit is going to be Hal McRae. He's a designated hitter, but taking over in left field at first base will be John Wathan. So Wathan will take over at first base for Balboni if this goes into any extras. The only problem is Wathan is not as good as a first baseman. But Wathan can play the position. So John Wathan will take over at first. But Hal McRae will pinch hit. Now, let's see here. Now I gotta make a choice. Where's my other boy? Where's my guy here? Where are you? Sebastian Stratt, are you with me? Sebastian Stratt, are you with me there? You're the Blue Jay fan, Sebastian Stratt. So I'm wondering if you want me to keep Dave Steib in and let him pitch to McRae, or do I bring in a pinch hitter, a new pitcher to go to McRae? Because McRae bats .282 against rights, but .233 against lefts. Oh, so Dave Little, now you're saying leave Balboni in. All right, tell you what, we'll go back. We'll leave Balboni in there. That's okay. We can do that. We'll leave Balboni in there. So if there's no change, Balboni can come back out. McRae can stay in and go back to the bench. No problem. All right, so we'll do it that way. I like getting my guys involved in the game once in a while. So Dave Little says leave Balboni. So here we go. Runners at first and third. Steib, I'm going to keep out there. This is going to be his game to lose. So Balboni will stay. Runners at first and third. 28 homers, keep the bat in his hand, Salvador America says. Steib, runners at the corners. Fans here at Royal Stadium on their feet. Balboni a chance to win the game. A base hit will do it. Steib, ready on. Here's the pitch. It's a tough 64, and it's a ground ball to second base. Up with it is going to be Garcia. He's got it. Throws to first. And yes, what would opening day be if we didn't have a game in extra innings? Free baseball. Free baseball here. Get your free baseball. We got extras. What would it be without it? At the end of 9, no score. What would a game of RJL 518 Network be without an extra inning game on opening day? Top of the 10th inning, no score between Toronto and Kansas City. Now, Bud Black has a fatigue rating of 7. I'm going to roll 2d6. 7 or lower, he stays in. 8 or higher, I'm taking him out. 7, he's going to stay in. Bud Black will continue to pitch, at least this inning. Because I really don't know what to do in that situation, so sometimes I'll roll dice to make a decision. So Bud Black will stay out there. He's not fatigued. He's not allowed anything. The leadoff batter for the Blue Jays will be the designated hitter, Jeff Burrows, here on the top of the 10th. Oh, boy, here we go. More baseball. What would it be? What's opening day here at my network without an extra inning game, guys? You know how many extra inning games I get. Burrows will bat, top of the 10th. Black will pitch. That's an in-play 87, and that's a ground ball to short. Up with it is Concepcion. Throws to first, out number 1. And that will bring up Willie Upshaw. Upshaw is 0 for 3. Pitch from Black. That's a tough 83. And that is going to be a fly ball to center field. Willie Wilson will get to that one. And that's out number 2. And now the batter is Buck Martinez. You're the king of free baseball, ain't I? Black will pitch to Martinez. That's a patient 40. And base hit. Buck Martinez, he gets a single. He'll trot down to first. Batter for the Blue Jays will be Garth Orge. Martinez not running. Oh, as far as injuries go, I can have game injuries, but since I'm using as-played lineups, there will be no injuries that last a while. So, game injuries only. No injuries that last over since we're using as-played lineups. Transactions follow the actual transaction. 2 outs. Martinez on at first. Orge the batter. That's a 3. It's a defense. A defense 34 could be interesting. An error check to second base. The ball is hit to White. This error is a 3. That's a 1 to 47. That's a 34. And White is going to commit the bobble. That is an error on White, and that's a 1-base error. First error in our replay. That's an E4. Runners at first and second. First error on Kansas City. And now, can the Blue Jays take advantage of it? Here's Tony Fernandez. An error on Frank White. Bud Black. 2 outs. Top of the 10th. No score. Here's the pitch. It's a 6. It's an in-play 84, and that's a fly ball center field. Coming under it is Wilson, makes the catch, and Black gets out of it. No runs, a hit, and an error. We go to the bottom of the 10th, no score. Who is going to break through? Who is going to be the hero? Bottom of the 10th inning, I will do the same for Steib. An 8 or lower, he stays in. That's a 10. I'm going to take him out. I know he's pitched a gem, but they normally wouldn't have the pitchers go this deep. At least I don't think so. Three right-handers coming up for Kansas City. It will be Daryl Motley leading off. We'll see who the Blue Jays want to bring in to pitch. Give me a moment while I check the bullpen. Question is, do I really want to take Steib out? But let me look at the bullpen here real fast. Let's see what I want to do. Coming into pitch for the Toronto Blue Jays is going to be Dennis Lamp. Lamp will come into pitch. As I'm taking Steib out, I know he pitched beautifully, but Dennis Lamp will pitch for the Blue Jays, has the most innings pitched as a reliever, and he'll pitch to Daryl Motley here, bottom of the 10th inning. I let the dice decide, and it told me to take him out. Lamp will pitch to Motley, bottom of the 10th. That's an in-play 24. That's going to be a leadoff base hit by Motley. Motley gets to first. Leadoff single. And the next batter is Frank White. A 4C steal rating. Motley not running. Good night, everybody. 9 is the new 12. Motley on it first. White the batter. Lamp pitches. That's a patient 52. And that is going to be a ground ball to third base. White, 6, 9. That's an 11. The throw goes to first. Motley's going to get to second base. 1 out. But Motley gets to second on an 11. Take care, Salvador America. Check the replay to see who wins. Next batter will be Jim Sundberg. Ground out to second base. Winning run in scoring position. Lamp trying to keep it where it's at. Bud Black, if it goes to the top 11th, Black will come out. And the Royals will go to the pen. Lamp with the pitch. That's an in-play 49. And that is a ground ball to third base. Up with it easily is Orge. Throws to first. Out number 2. Motley holds. Motley still at second. The batter is Onyx Concepcion. 2 outs now. Lamp the pitcher. Going up against Concepcion. Here it comes. It's a 5. It's a patience 38. And that is going to be he plunked him. Ugh. He plunks Concepcion and puts him on base. That really doesn't really hurt that much. Well, maybe it hurts Concepcion, though. Another hit batter in this game. And that is I think that's the second hit batter, isn't it? Yeah, second hit batter as Lamp hits Concepcion. And now it's up to Willie Wilson to try to win the game. Runners first and second. No score. Bottom of the 10th. Lamp trying to get it in. Wilson ready to hit. Here it comes. It's an in-play 86. And that's going to be a fly ball center field. Mosby ranges over. Makes the catch. And we got more baseball. No runs and a hit batter. At the end of 10, still no score. We go to the top of the 11th inning. Bud Black is coming out. He's done his job. Now you got to turn it over to the pen. Let me check to see who the Blue Jays are bringing up and who I want to bring into pitch. Left, left, left. Give me a moment while I organize real quick. And coming on to pitch for the Royals is going to be Mike Jones. Jones he is a left-hander. But the Blue Jays have two rights and a left coming up, but against left-handed pitching, the Blue Jays are worse. In this case, when the splits are a little different in payoff pitch, you go by see if the averages are going by. Damaso Garcia will lead off against Mike Jones, top of the 11th inning, as both pitchers pitched beautifully and cannot get a win. Damaso Garcia leads off, top of the 11th. More baseball coming up. Jones with the pitch. And that is a patient 37, and that is going to be a hit by pitch. He hits Garcia. He plunks Garcia. Ugh. Garcia goes to first. And that might be for retaliation for hitting two batters on the Royals. But Garcia says, hey, I'm fine. I'm a baseball player. He'll trot down to first. But Mike Jones wouldn't do that and put the go-ahead run on first base. Here's Lloyd Mosby. 1 out. Jones with the pitch. And that is a patient 19, and he walks Mosby. So he hits Garcia and walks Mosby, and the Blue Jays are in business. And now George Bell. Nobody out. Top of the 11th. Blue Jays got something going on. Bell is 0 for 3. Pitch from Jones. That's a tough 97. Fly ball to left field. Motley's going to get over there. Makes the catch. Out number 1. And the next batter is Jesse Barfield, and we'll see a new pitcher for the Royals as Jones is going to come out, and I think they're going to bring in a right-hander. And coming on to pitch now for Kansas City will be Joe Beckwith. I'm not using that 3-batter rule, no, but I'm looking at the stats, trying to do the best thing I can without bringing in the closer. One rule I want to make sure of: I do not want to bring in the closer unless it really is a safe situation. Joe Beckwith will pitch to Barfield, 1 out. Runners at first and second, top of the 11th. Beckwith pitch, patient 47. He walks Barfield, and now the Blue Jays have the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Bases loaded for Jeff Burrows. With 1 out, the infield's going to be in. Infield's going to be in for the Royals. Bases loaded. Beckwith will pitch to Burrows. 1 out. Fans here want to see Kansas City pull this one out. Here's the ball. Here's the pitch. It's a ballpark 11. It's a wheelhouse. It's a wheelhouse for Burrows. And against a right-handed pitcher, 0-4. And it's going to be smacked for a double. Jeff Burroughs breaks through. The pitch finally breaks through. It's a double for Burroughs. He hit no home runs against right-handers, but he does hit a double there. Garcia will score. Mosby will score. Barfield. Grounder down the line. All runners score. Barfield comes through. Burroughs, 3 RBI double. Blue Jays take a 3-0 lead. The Blue Jays finally get through. I forgot it's only 1 out, so I have to draw the card. So all runners score. Burroughs on at second, and the Blue Jays finally jump out. 3-0 here in the 11th. Stadium groans. Ugh. 3-0 Jays, and still 1 out. The batter will be Willie Upshaw. And that's going to be it for Beckwith as he's being taken out of the game. And coming on to pitch for the Royals is going to be a left-hander. It'll be Larry Gura. Larry Gura, actually a 12.46 ERA as a lefty, because the other lefties they have in the board are starters and they're not available. So Larry Gura will come on and pitch against Upshaw. 1 out, just like it is in Little League World Series days. Yep. Burroughs on at second. Upshaw the batter now. Gura with the pitch. And that is a patient 95, and that's going to be a fly ball to right field. Coming under it is Sheridan, and he makes the catch for out number 2. And that is a patient. Runner on second may attempt to move to third base. Burroughs run rating of 4. No, he'll stay at second. But there are 2 outs now for Buck Martinez. 2 outs. Gura will pitch to Martinez. Martinez only bats .138 against lefties. Pitch. That's a patient 35, but it doesn't matter here. That's going to be a base hit for Buck Martinez, and it's going to be a double. Coming around third is Jeff Burroughs. He will score, and it's 4-0 Blue Jays as the Royal bullpen implodes. Martinez will hold at second. And the next batter is Garth Orge. 4-0 Blue Jays. And the top of the 11th here on opening day in Kansas City. Gura will pitch to Orge. Here's the pitch. And that is a patient 29. And Orge hits a base hit. And that's going to be a double. And this time, that will also score a run. As Martinez rounding third, he scores. Orge gets to second. It's 5-0 Blue Jays. And I know the Royals fans will blame me for this, but that's all I can do with the way this bullpen is set up. That'll be it for Gura. Orge will hold at second base. The next batter is Tony Fernandez. And coming on to pitch for the Royals is going to be Mike Lacoste. Lacoste will pitch to Fernandez. 2 outs here, top of the 11th. Now 5-0 Blue Jays as the Blue Jays have opened this game up. Lacoste will now pitch to Fernandez. Orge on at second. Tough, 55. And that is going to be a ground ball to first. And Balboni will make the play. And that will end the inning. The Blue Jays send 9 men to the plate. 5 runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, and a hit batter. We go to the bottom of the 11th. The Blue Jays leading 5-0. Dennis Lamp is going to stay out there with a 5-0 lead. And Pat Sheridan leads off for Kansas City here in the bottom of the 11th. At least I think so. Let me check something here, what I want to do. Actually, I think Lamp's going to come out. Let's see what the Blue Jays want to do here. And they're going to bring in Gary Lavelle. Blue Jay bullpen is a little better than the Royal bullpen. Gary Lavelle will pitch to Pat Sheridan. Bottom of the 11th inning, 5-0 Blue Jays. Remember, when this game is over, don't leave, people. I got something to say. Here's the pitch from Lavelle. That's a tough 19. And that swing and a miss. Struck him out. Sheridan goes down, one away. And now the batter is George Brett. Lavelle will pitch. That's a tough 23. And it's a base hit for Brett. Brett gets a single. He will go to first. Brett starts off the season 2 for 4. 2 singles and a walk. The batter now will be George Orta. And we're going to see a pinch hitter for Orta. Orta's coming out. Designated hitter. They'll replace him with a new DH. And going ahead and taking over at DH will be Buddy Biancalana. He'll be the new designated hitter in case this game can go any further. Biancalana bats .259 against lefties. Lavelle will stay in the pitch. Brett on it first. Lavelle with the pitch. Tough 16. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. 2 outs. And the last chance for the Royals will be Steve Balboni with a runner on first. Lavelle with the pitch. Here it comes. Lavelle. That's a tough 76. That'll do it. Fly ball center field. Coming under it is Mosby. He's under it. And he makes the catch. And this game is in the books. The Toronto Blue Jays defeat the Kansas City Royals in 11 innings, 5-0, with scoring 5 runs in the top of the 11th. No runs and a hit for Kansas City in the bottom of the 11th, and that will do it. I'll give you guys a final line score here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. They had no errors. 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Cincinnati. For Toronto, 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. For Kansas City, no runs, 6 hits and 1 error. The winning pitcher for Toronto was Dennis Lamp. He actually gets the win. Lamp gets the win, and Joe Beckwith takes the loss for Kansas City. And a nice win for the Blue Jays to win this game 5-0 in 11. And we'll go ahead and mark that on the sheet. And I'll mark also that it was 11 innings. And that'll do it. Before you guys go, there's something I need to say. If you can. If you got to leave, I understand. But there's something I need to say. I'm not doing any baseball tomorrow. No inside pitch or payoff pitch. I'm taking a complete day off for tomorrow being election day. I've already voted. I've already taken care of that. And I just want to tell you people, if you feel you need to vote Republican, you vote Republican. If you need to vote Democrat, you vote Democrat. If you need to vote for Trump, you vote for Trump. You vote for Biden, you vote for Biden. You vote for anybody that's not even Trump or Biden. 4 years ago, a third of this country didn't vote. People, I'm just asking you out tomorrow. If you've already done it, that's great. If you mailed it in or absentee balloted in, that's fine. I served in the military. So I'm a veteran. I served in the United States Navy. I'm a veteran. I have a DD 214, and I was a veteran in the US Navy many years ago. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I want you people to understand. Voting is something that is a privilege that was given to us by people that died for us years ago. From the first person that died at the Battle of Lexington in the American Revolutionary War. You know what? I'll go even further than that. I'll go back to the Boston Massacre in 1770 and Crispus Attucks. All right, I'll go back to that. From that person, from the first people who died, to the people that have died in the War of 1812, the Spanish-American War, the Mexican-American War, the American Civil War, World War I, World War II, which was truly a war of good versus evil, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, the War on Terror, whatever we call it now. As an American serviceman, as an ex-American serviceman, all I want you to do is vote. Vote for Biden, vote for Trump, vote for a party that even you think might not even win it, but still vote. There was actually some guy that actually voted, didn't vote for Biden or Trump. He voted for someone that had no chance of winning the election. At first, I thought it was a mistake. But then again, I said, you know what? It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. If you feel you need to vote for Trump, you vote for Trump. If you feel you need to vote for Biden, you vote for Biden. Vote with your heart. Don't listen to these ads, really. Don't listen to these ads. Don't listen to the Trump ads. Don't even listen to the Biden ads. Don't listen to these ads. Vote for the president. Vote for your elected officials. Vote for, if you got to vote along party lines, that's fine. Just go out and vote. Do not let this opportunity disappear. There were 65 American voters voted for Democrat in 2016. 63 million Americans voted for Republican. 108 million American registered voters did not vote. You think maybe they care now? And I want them to make the best decision they can make. I'm not going to tell you about socialism, which or whatever you call it. I'm not going to talk to you about what's been happening the last 4 years or what's happening now. You know what? I'm not going to get political. The only thing I want to ask you guys to do is to vote. Do your job. It is your job to go out there and vote. It's a job that you need to do as a civilian of the United States of America. If you do not, even if you don't like either of the candidates, just go vote for Mickey Mouse if you have to. Fine. Because to every American, in my opinion, to every American service person, every American civilian that doesn't vote in an election, you dishonor everybody who died to give us that opportunity. Imagine World War II if we don't beat Germany and Japan. Imagine what America might be in trouble. Imagine what America might be like now if we don't defeat the Axis powers. Imagine America be like now if we didn't defeat the British in the American Revolution or in the War of 1812, World War I, Korea, Vietnam. Wars that are not that popular these days because it's considered a draw and a loss. But every one of those people are heroes. The real heroes of America are the ones in those cemeteries right now that died for our ability to vote. I'm sick and tired of people telling me, if you're a serviceman, you're not a hero. You are a hero. If you served, you're a hero. If you went through boot camp like I did and served on board a United States Naval Combat Warship, which I did, if you served in the field with your AK, with your rifle, if you were in a battle, if you did any of that, if you served as American servicemen, I want you guys to know how heroic you all were. To give your life to their country is the ultimate sacrifice. To give your time to your country is a sacrifice. For those people who served abroad and were not with their loved ones, their wives, their sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, who gave their time to the government so they could do what they felt was a purpose greater than themselves. I don't care what Biden says. I definitely don't care what Trump says. I don't care what any other party official says. Your job, very simple tomorrow, is to vote. That is your job. If you can't vote because of something maybe you did in your past, okay, that's understandable. But that's all right. Then still encourage the ones that can vote to vote. Like Tim Pepper said, encourage all your friends to vote. This is a ginormous election tomorrow. Ginormous. And I know I might be, if I'm turning off some people here, I apologize. But as a serviceman who served in my military, and to see what's been happening in our country, the time has come for us to do our job, and that is to vote. If you need to vote for Trump and you believe in him, you vote for Trump. If you need to vote for, if you believe in Biden, you vote for Biden. I'm not going to take any side of the fence here in what I'm saying. You vote for who you believe will do the best job possible. You vote with your heart and your mind. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Just vote. If you don't like either of them, which I understand, vote for Mickey Mouse. Vote for Darth Vader. Vote for Captain Kirk. I don't care. Go in there and write something in there. I don't care if you vote for someone that do it. Just still do it. And you still might vote for people that you do care about. Maybe not for the president, but then again for your governor, for your senators, for your representatives, for your state legislatures, for your sheriff, for your county coroners, and also for your amendments to your constitution in your states. Tomorrow, guys, is the biggest election this country has had. I think that, at least in my lifetime, and I'm 51 years old. My father passed away last month, died in September. He died at 75 of a heart attack. Went in for heart surgery, and unfortunately was not able to get off the table. So he passed away. So I lost my dad. And I know what he would want me to do because he was proud with the party he served, with the party he was. And I'm not going to tell you the party. But know that everyone here that's listening to the sound of my voice, just go out there and vote. If you've already voted, then you did your job. If you've not voted, please do so. Vote for Biden. Vote for Trump. Vote for the Green Party. Vote for any party. Just vote. It's none of my business who you vote for, but it's America's business that you do vote, period. I'm sick and tired of seeing a third of Americans. I'm sick and tired of pretty much almost half of Americans in 2016 didn't vote. And they were registered voters. We can't have that anymore, people. We can't have that anymore. Now, I've already voted. Tomorrow I'll be watching the election results. I'm not going to be doing any baseball tomorrow. No inside pitch. Inside pitch, I have the Mets and the Twins. I'll do that game Wednesday late afternoon, or maybe Wednesday afternoon. The Wednesday payoff pitch game will be the New York Yankees versus the Boston Red Sox. So I know Salvador America will definitely be there. So Yankees Red Sox will be the payoff pitch game for that night. Please, people, just go ahead and vote. I don't mean to talk your ears off, and I don't mean to insult anybody's political affiliation. If you've not voted, please do so. If you have voted, I thank you. As a serviceman, I thank you. And for those of you, by the way, give me a moment, if you could. I think I have that here someplace. Somewhere here. Pretty sure here. Maybe. I put that somewhere. Give me a moment, people. Hold on a second. I think I would need it, but crap. I'd have to find it, but never mind. All right, never mind. I can't find it right now, but I was going to show you. I was going to show you my DD214, but that's okay. I know. I hear you. Some people need a SWAT and they're ready to do the right thing. As I hope that everything stays peaceful no matter what the result will be. Yes, I'm very aware of that. As I said, I don't want to insult your political affiliations, and I do not want to state who you should vote for. Who I think you should vote for is none of my concern. It's who you think you should vote for. But yes, Steeler fans said it right. We are looking at something that this country has never faced in its history. Never faced this. Steeler fans said it very right. Yes. And I don't want to really go any further than that because I love you guys so much. You're my subscribers. You guys watch this all the time. And I don't want to say anything mean about any candidate you guys believe in. But this country is going through something right now it's never gone through before. And I know for a fact, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, even Ronald Reagan, I know for a fact they would not stand for what's happening right now, Republican or Democrat. This is not what our country's about. It never was designed to do this. Our country's about freedom. It's about liberty. It's about justice. It's about the American way. It's about a new life. It's about beauty. It is about law, and it is about order as well, as long as it's done the right way. It's about making something greater for yourself in this country that even, hey, you can't do that in other countries. Our country was based on liberty, freedom, and justice for all. If you want to say under God, absolutely. I'm Jewish, so, but that's how that goes. But it's just, our country was based on something greater than itself. People that believed in driving for something that they knew here in America they could do it. Whether you're an immigrant or not an immigrant, or born here or not born here. What this country is facing right now, tomorrow, makes me cry. I got people telling me down here in Florida, the police are on full alert. My National Guard here in Florida is on full alert. City police, county police, my Broward County Sheriff's Office, my state troopers, and my Florida National Guard are on alert. Never in this country on an election day have I ever heard that before. Doesn't matter. There is no good guys and there's no bad guys. But we have a chance to make a difference. And that difference is we got to vote. If your person wins, terrific. If they don't, then accept it. You just accept it. Yeah, I know. Very hard for to say that to some people who do not want to accept a win or a loss. I understand that. Very hard for that to say. But if I win tomorrow, or if my guy wins, I'll be happy. If my guy loses, I'm not going to go out and commit suicide. I'm not going to start looting. I'm not going to start destroying other people's things. I'm not that kind of person. This is America. Right now, we're supposed to be the United States of America. Right now, we are the divided states of America. We have never been this way before. We got to unite the country. So let's vote and do it. Vote Democrat. Vote Republican. Vote for the people you think will do the best job. If they lose, then accept it. If they win, then let's see if they can get the job done. And if they win and they don't do the job, well, guess what? 4 years later, we'll have a chance to we'll get somebody else in there. 4 years, 4 years sounds like a long time. You know what? These last 4 years have gone by pretty quick. And this year, 2020, has been god-awful. But I'm not going to tell you who I blame. I'm not going to tell if there is someone to blame. It's just the way it happened. So it's our turn to vote and do what's got to be done. Just please vote. If you've not done it, please vote. Vote for Biden, vote for Trump, vote for someone else that's not a Republican or Democrat, vote Mickey Mouse, Darth Vader, Mr. Spock, Captain Kirk, I don't care, write it in, just do your job. Tim Pepper, Steeler fan, 1933, Dave Little, Salvador America, let's see here, Forever Remain 90, Michael Peterson, let's see here. Who else I got here? To Larry Harris, Sebastian Stratt. Got a great chat here. Cards and CP, Cards and Dice. Tribe Fan 879, Bears Den 007, Anthony Barris. Thank you all very much for joining me today. It was a pleasure to do opening day here for 1985. No game tomorrow. Wednesday morning, we will have game 10 of Inside Pitch One and Gone. It will be the New York Mets taking on my Mets taking on the Minnesota Twins, and then Wednesday it will be the New York Yankees taking on the Boston Red Sox in the 85 game series. Thank you all for joining me. Have a great night. stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong, and above all, stay good to each other. It doesn't matter whether you're white or black, people, or yellow, Hispanic, Asian, Chinese. It doesn't matter. Guess what? We all have one thing in common, and it is indisputable. We all bleed red. That is a fact, and it is indisputable. So we all have something in common. We all have red blood. So guess what? We're all brothers and sisters. We're all human beings. Unless, of course, you're from another planet, then you might have a different color blood. And if you are from another planet, please let me know. I'd like to see. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you guys Wednesday for more exciting baseball action. Sorry for the rant. I had to get that off my chest with Election Day tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. See you soon.